Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody from all around the world, hello and welcome to another episode of The Welch Report with me, your host, Jean-Luc. Make some noise. That's right. Clap it up. Get excited. It is Friday. Yes, indeed, the best day of the week, all for your time and your listening. Plus, to have opportunity to go and end the week strong with a dominant display in and outside the ring, and specifically on this show right here with you all today. Again, it's the championship rounds for all of this show. Sure, we got plot points, agendas, topics that we have for discussion, but you all drive the conversation. You all control the ebbs and flows of where this show is gonna go. Absolutely, for all of it, however long, what, an hour 30, 2 hours, shoot, we might go 4. Last time we went 5 hours, 1 point on this show. Not saying we're gonna go that long, but we will stay as long as the public provides us some real feedback on the essentially the track of how this thing's gonna go. So again, I'm your host, Jean-Luc Welch. It's Friday afternoon. We appreciate you joining us on today's episode. And if you would, if you haven't already, go ahead and leave a like on the stream. Yes, sir. Go ahead and get the likes up on this show. Comment your thoughts and opinions on everything. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I told you, hey, y'all thought I was playing about yesterday being a little bit under the weather. We still gonna rock, we still gonna shine, regardless of which. But again, leave a like on the stream. Go on and comment your thoughts and opinions in the chat down below. We already got people chatting already, like with Ninja. Is it gonna pull up? There we go, Ninja. What's good with you? How you doing? Thanks so much for tuning in to the show with us on today, and also be sure to share the show with everybody that you know so we can keep on building up this empire together, making this thing bigger and stronger, all with you and your support. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe already. Come join the empire. Come be a part of this monolith of a community that we're building up together. And please, if you can give and support to the show, we got Cash App, PayPal, links in the description. If you like what you're hearing and you want this to keep on going and to help build up this community and build up this whole show to be bigger, better, and stronger than ever before, hey, anything would do. If you can't give us support, this is my job. This is what I do for a living. So, if you can help me out, would mean the world to me, absolutely. We're just so glad that you're on with us today. And again, like I said before, it is a championship rounds. So, hey, it's time to work. It's time to grind. It's time to let your voice shine. All you got to do is say what you want to say and be what you want to be and do what you, or rather, pontificate on topics you want to discuss, and we will discuss them. Absolutely. We had a bunch of stuff that we touched on yesterday. We honestly didn't get to that we didn't get to talk about. If y'all want to revisit some of those topics, we definitely can. Like with Pound for Pound, like with Terrence Crawford, like with Canelo Alvarez, we can talk about that as well. New topics like with Pacquiao versus the whole of 147. Is there opportunity that Barrios isn't just the only man that Pacquiao can beat at this advanced age and seemingly new stage in his career as he comes back and already shows, hey, but I can admit him compete at the championship level, though Barrios is, in many people's eyes, sketchy as a real quality championship talent. But again, we can talk about that. But it's the world is you all's oyster, and you all drive the conversation, no question about it. We still got people in the chat right now, so without further ado, let's jump into the world of the show. Let's get started right now. While you're getting your questions together, I will be reading the comments so far, like with Miss Queen. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks so much for tuning into the show. So glad you're with us on today. Yeah, I forgot you had done your whole list of fighters. Requisite too. Requisite to the One Piece universe. We didn't get to touch on that because we were talking so much yesterday. This is actually a really dope concept. Now, again, many people, so I don't know who's an anime fan and who ain't. I'm a big One Piece fan, so this is really dope. Now, you had put about 3 people as Shanks in the last section, or in the last episode yesterday. I want to know who you got as Shanks definitively. Because you said Crawford, then you said Brian Over Jr. I know we said Ali was Gold D. Roger. I agree with that. And then we had, who was it that was Whitebeard? I can't remember who you said was Whitebeard. It wasn't Terrence Crawford, because you had Terrence Crawford and I think also Brian Norman as Shanks. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But who in the world did you have as Whitebeard? I can't remember. I cannot remember for the life of me. Ah, that's who it was. George Foreman. Now, ooh. Oh, wow. Foreman had a robbery, yeah, Foreman had a robbery with Ali. Foreman ran the division, ran the heavyweight division, and then lost to Ali, retired, came back, still was able to be a champion at 45 years old. So this brother transcended. You know what? You might be right. You know what? Hey, you know what? You might be right. I think. Doggone it, that's a good comparison. I think that's a really good comparison. Crawford is Shanks for sure. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Shanks lost his arm. Crawford got shot in the back of the head. Still is dominating. Is able to fight with any of the, not just emperors, but essentially any emperor, warlord, or marine around the boxing world right now. Is now essentially challenging one of the four emperors right now in Canelo. If you want to talk about moving up in weight, my gosh, and again, if he beats this brother, hey brother, this just might be the Pirate King. If he does indeed do this, if he beats Canelo, we might have to come crown this brother. Hey, you done did it. We might. Golly, shoot, we might have to elevate this brother from dog. We might have to elevate this cat from stinking Shanks to Kaido. Great day if that does happen. That would be insane. That would be ridiculous. But Sergey, what's going on with you? How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning into the show. So glad that you're with us on today. We appreciate it coming through. Again, leave a like on the stream. Sent you. Let's go and get the likes up and let's go and get this show shared with the whole of the globe. Because I want to hear everybody's opinions on what you had to say on whatever topics you want to discuss on today. I think it was somebody else that was here. I think there was somebody else that was here. Unless am I missing somebody? No, I ain't. I've said hi to everybody. And let me see. We got Devin Haney. Oh wait, hold on. You got wait, Devin Haney's dope. Wait, hold on. I think you ain't said something else about Haney. Dang it. Call him a celestial jacket. Hey, wait. Now wait a minute. Now hold on a second. Okay. See, now, a celestial dragon wouldn't want to fight nobody. Devin Haney does fight everybody. He does. But, boy, he do be fighting everybody. However, recently, this kind of fits the bill just a little bit. Just a little. Somebody say he might be protected by his dad. Somebody say he can work with the whole conversation with Devin Haney, Victor Conte, Snack, and whatnot. That's made the whole thing. He's getting funded with a bunch of different things. And so it's I don't like it. I don't want to say it's right. But it's But shoot, it's kind of hard to fit the bill. It's kind of hard to say it doesn't somewhat fit the bill. But if you really want to say somebody fits the bill of a celestial dragon, and it might be hating, but we might just call. I don't want to say it. You might take some adverse sentiments to it. Could we call Gervonta Davis a celestial dragon in the One Piece universe? Could we? Now, again, for those of you who ain't seen the show, I'm not trying to spoil it, but you got Emperors of the Sea, baddest pirates in the land. You got warlords, people who go through and they are up and coming. They're still strong, but they're still growing in strength. You got Marines, which essentially are the police of the sea in this show. And they be going through and they got heavy hitters on their own right, which if they were pirates, they'd be dominant, but they ain't. So they stopping some of the strongest pirates because brother, they on their level. Now when it comes to Gervonta Davis, brother would be a warlord, was popped up as an emperor. However, the brother ain't done nothing to validate the claim. He's got the bravado of whatchamacallit. What's his name? He's got He's got the talent to actually be an emperor. He does. But at the same time, he's got the bravado of dang it, who was it? Who was it? Dang it, who's that character? Come on. Come on, hold on, wait, hold on, I'm gonna find it. Hold on, wait a minute. I know my stuff, I'm just blanking because I'm trying to think of so many different things. That's it. He's got the bravado. He's got the bravado of Buggy the Clown. He's got the the talent to be an emperor. But the highs behind just the name and cachet. No actually want to fight nobody, but walks around like he runs the place. Hence, a celestial dragon. I would think that's a fair comparison nonetheless, at least in my humble opinion. Let me see. Boots, definitely Mihawk. Yeah. From a talent, yeah. From a talent perspective, yeah. It's just, that's, yeah. Nah, you ain't lying. You ain't lying about that. Rolly will always be Buggy the Clown for me. Hey, look, I get it. You might be able to have two in this situation. One, because Rolly's actually, improving like Buggy. Tank has Tank's got qualities of Buggy from the talk. Like he can talk. But it better than back it up like them celestial dragons. Or just like the celestial dragons also don't. So I'll put him in that thing. But yeah, the Rolly is probably the most aptly put person to be Buggy the Clown. in my opinion. But again, it's you all's show. You all can join the conversation. We still want to hear from you about anything you want to say in the world of boxing and beyond. No question about it. We still want your chats, your comments, your voice, your opinion on anything you want to discuss, whether it's stuff we talked about yesterday, whether it's stuff we talked about on Tuesday, last week, topics that we just haven't covered that you want to discuss, fighters that you maybe want my opinion on, debates that you want to have, all of that. We can talk about it right here, right now on this show. And while we're still going through, I can bring up a topic real quick as you all are getting your questions still together. Let's talk about Manny Pacquiao for a second. Hey, let's switch some gears just for a little bit. Switch some gears and go into the world of Manny Pacquiao. Regarding Manny Pacquiao and his run as a fighter, at least in this comeback tour, we're not even comeback tour, full-blown definitive comeback, fighting against the likes of Barrios. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to blank. I got like a million things going through my mind right now. But fighting against Barrios has a lot of people asking, wait a minute. That's some good coffee. But wait a minute, when it comes to the world now, 147, with Pacquiao now showing, okay, there is something left in the tank. How much of this division can he actually be competitive against? Hey, we got to ask this. We need to have this conversation because it is a cause for pause for a lot of people now saying, is there a potential history on the horizon? And the people that we thought were the men in this division now might just be a step on. Now, I don't want to say a stepping stone because that sounds derogatory, but legitimately might just become notches in the belt of Pacquiao. I've already said that he can beat Barrios if he fought him again. I have been definitive that if he fights Barrios again, he can beat him. But after Barrios, who else do you think he's got a real shot at fighting against? And let me see. We got people like Dry Turkey. Like, hey, brother, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks so much for tuning in to the show with us on today. Let me see what you had to say on today's episode. Do you know about Murtala abducting Andy Cruz? Robert Garcia came out and said that his fighter won by taking on Andy Cruz, and the IBF has yet to mandate the number one ranked challenger. Now, I have somewhat heard about that. Now, because it's the IBF, also I'm a little bit confused, not just with the fighters, but with the belt commission. For me, again, I'm still trying to get some more information on that to make sure before I jump on and say somebody's ducking or not. But it does seem like, and the reason why I am hesitant is because with the IBF, They've been incredibly wishy-washy with who they do and don't hold to a standard of you got to defend and you got to do what we got to do. Again, they let Spence hold the title years and years and years without defending it against mandatory, so he was still defending it against good people. The mandatory was never put on. But then when Crawford got made the title, immediately mandatory got made, and if you don't do it, you drop it. Same thing with Usyk. Usyk won the title, and then what happened? They went and immediately after, mind you, after already knowing that Tyson Fury and Usyk had a rematch, they go ahead and say Usyk has to fight the IBF mandatory. If they don't, then you get stripped. And lo and behold, Usyk, knowing he wasn't going to go and defend the title because he was going to fight Fury in a deserved rematch, what happened? Gives the belt to Dubois and Joshua, give to them, you all fight for the title, then I will fight you all if I beat Tyson Fury to get another shot at undisputed. That's what happened. And so it's tough for me to say that one is ducking the other, because in this situation it would be different if the IBF actually named or made the mandatory a mandatory. Mind you, we've covered this whole situation with Dave Benavidez before when it comes to who orchestrates and doesn't orchestrate mandatories. It is a situation where it is not the fighter that activates a mandatory. Let me repeat that one more time. It is not the fighter that activates a mandatory. It is the commission. It is the belt commission. They are the ones that activate or don't activate a mandatory. You just saw what happened with the was it the WBA? Or was it WBO? One of the WBC belts that Usyk has officially made Joseph Parker a mandatory. And they gave them both 60 days to negotiate a fight. That has happened. Now, granted, that was also because of the voice of the people, which is great, but that's what happened. They made the mandatory. Joseph Parker was mandatory since he beat Big Bang Giant. Shoot, I think he got to a mandatory opportunity when he fought against the likes of Deontay Wilder, or earned that shot to become mandatory against Giant when he fought against Wilder. So it was, okay, and thank you, Al Booger. It was the WBO. Appreciate it. Also, Al Booger, hey brother, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning into the show. So glad you're with us on today. But again, I appreciate the correction. It was the WBO. I couldn't exactly remember which of the WB belts was the ones that made it, but they made it. It is the belt that makes the mandatory active or not. Dillian White was a mandatory for the heavyweight title before he fought against Tyson Fury for years. I mean years. Up until finally, okay, he got it shot. Now, I can't remember if that was the IBF belt or not, but in terms of how it works, that's who makes it. And so, because the IBF ain't made nothing, it's like, if they did, they could force the issue in the first. And plus, as again, on top of that, I'm still trying to understand the full route of the timeline between Murtala with whether he ducking or not ducking off the words of Garcia. So again, full disclaimer, I don't have all the information. But that is also why I'm hesitant to speak on it, because it ain't just the fighters that are potentially, again, allegedly. Actually, no, potentially the right word, because we ain't, there's nothing criminal that we going through. It's not the fighters that I'm concerned about in this instance. It's the belt. If they do right, they can make it so that, okay, yeah, you back one or the other into a corner. You take the fighter, don't. They can solve this with one simple announcement. But because of how they work, it's nip and tuck. It's nip and tuck. And so again, and that's the most I can say on it right now. Let me see. I'm hearing Pac-Man versus Rolly. So yes, we are. But we're also hearing more likely we also have official negotiations for Rolly versus Ryan Garcia in a rematch for the interim title. That's what's currently under is what's being talked about. And we talked about that yesterday on the show. Now, if that fight falls through, then we get Rolly versus Pacquiao potentially for, again, Rolly's WBA interim title. I believe that's the belt that he holds. So if the Ryan Garcia fight doesn't go through, Then most likely we get Rolly versus Pac-Man. And that's the fight I want to know who y'all think would win amongst that regard. Because again, we're still discussing who Pacquiao could beat beyond Barrios. Because I'm firmly set, he rematches Barrios again, he beats him. If he fights Rolly, would he be able to beat him? If he gets to a point where he's able to look even better, could he fight a Devin Haney and potentially have a shot at an upset beyond just a puncher's chance? A legitimate ability to beat him. Teofimo Lopez, who's now at 147, could he have a shot at beating him? And of course, again, right now, the biggest threat in the division, Brian Norman Jr. Nothing but a who. Would he get a shot at being able to beat him? So I want to hear from you all what he got to say. Rolly was elevated to, he was? Wait a minute. He was? Wait a second. Hold on. Wait a minute. Breaking news. Oh, wait a second. Where's, hold on. Where's Twitter? We better pull this up right now. I'm getting up on here. My social medias ain't refreshed, so I'm trying to pull it back up. Excuse me, let me check it real quick. Hold on. Is Rolly a full-blown champion now? Is he a full-blown? Is it a full-blown belt holder? Is this it? Has the dream been realized? Let me see. Hold on. Let's go. In fact, shoot. Let's do what we do best. Let's all find out together. Let's do it in the old picture-in-picture, so we can see what it's all about. All right. I guess we're gonna do a drum roll, please, to see what happens. Is Rolly Romero officially a full-blown champion? Survey says. Wait, hold on. My gosh, yes he is. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a second. Wait. Oh, shoot. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. You know what? I'm not mad at it. As we now have confirmation from the Ring Magazine, specifically, Rolly Romero has been elevated to become the full WBA welterweight champion of the world, as Ennis has vacated his belt to move up in weight. Okay, so it's official. Boots is gone. Boots is out of here. It's on to 154, and it's on to potentially undisputed. We're still holding him to that. So now we got two birds, one stone. Everything's been answered. Rolly's full WBA. Boots will win at 154. Rolly's now a two-weight world champion and is in advanced talks. What I tell you? In advanced talks to rematch Ryan Garcia. All right. So we have ourselves an answer. Thank goodness. Thank the Lord. We got ourselves some closure. No, not that. We work. This is good. This is great. Now we know what's on the up and up. So let me rephrase this. Could Pacquiao, if he doesn't get the rematch with Barrios, and if Rolly does not fight Ryan Garcia this time for the full WBA title, and we do get Pacquiao versus Rolly Romero, because Rolly has said he wants Pacquiao as a name for his legacy, would you be able to see Pacquiao go and beat a Rolly Romero at this version, who is, as much as many people may not want to believe it, the brother's a better fighter than he was before. He is. And so let's see. Rolly has been elevated to full WBA champion, 147. Yep, we just figured it out, which is crazy because now him and Tank have the same accolades. Each are two legit division champions and one regular division champion. My gosh. My word. And wait a minute. Did they both get it the same way? Hold on. Wait. Time out. Did they both get it the same way? Did they both get it the same way? They won one belt in the ring, and then the only other title at a world title that they got, they were given the belt. Tank got the WBA given to him. He never fought for the belt. He then went on to defend the belt, but against I think it was against Frank Martin, but he never actually fought for it when he earned it. And Rolly was interim. Boots moved up. He never fought for the world title, but he was made the world title by WBA. My goodness heaven, doesn't that look like the strangest thing? And hasn't this been an issue that we've been having with Tank? And again, Rolly has gotten better. He has. I'm glad he was made champion because, hey, the brother, you beat Ryan Garcia. I would have liked to see him fight for the title against somebody, but still, you can't say he didn't earn. You can't say he didn't earn the belt. From the standpoint of, we've seen Devin Haney have a belt given to him. It was called an email champion. But when Tank did it, it wasn't really all the same noise from a lot of the boxing public. Now, for me, I was saying the same thing. Hey, if you're going to call Devin an email champ, you should call Tank an email champ as well. And now you should call Rolly an email champ. Now, my feeling on this is that moniker shouldn't be called for anybody because of the fact that it's not the fighter's fault that the belt got put on them, because they were in a position to actually fight for it. We shouldn't hold that as a detraction against them, though we want fighters to have to fight for the belts. It's not hurting them, and it shouldn't be held above them to be like, you ain't a real brother because you got given the title. That's a wrong sentiment as well. But if you are gonna call something like that, then you ought to call it for the others that are bigger in stature that get that same treatment, which, again, people don't have the same consistency. But regardless of which, it's crazy. Same road, same situation. Tank and Rolly are literally on the same plateau as accolades ensue. They are. And they both beat Ryan Garcia. So one of the biggest names on each of their resumes is Ryan. Knocking him down, beating him 12 rounds, Tank knocking him out. And again, like I say, if that is the biggest name on your resume is Ryan Garcia, if you are Tank Davis, and now you're level with Rolly, that for what Tank is as a fighter, that's not good. It's not. And this ain't disrespecting Rolly. It's just the fact of the matter of where Tank is at his career. You should have left Rolly years ago. And it shouldn't have been that all of a sudden y'all are tied. That's problematic. Get on the ball and actually do some stuff. That's the thing. That's the whole thing. That's again, before this whole domestic violence thing that has halted a lot of plans. That's what we were saying for years. To get the ball rolling. And sadly, he just never did. Imagine taking Rolly, both going to the Hall of Fame. Shoot. Hey, let me tell you something. If Tank can get into the Hall of Fame, then Rolly can get to the Hall of Fame. If Tank can get to the Hall of Fame, then Rolly should. If Tank gets there, Rolly should as well. Because they both have accomplished just about the same stuff. You could Tank is a better fighter, no question. But brother, still, they accomplished the same things. And if he gets in the Hall, but that's a low bar. That is a low bar. Like I said, Tank does not have a Hall of Fame career. Rolly just matched Tank's career with this title, literally almost identically. And so because of that, Rolly's ain't a Hall of Fame career either. But if you say Tank's is, then guess what? Rolly's is as well. Which is odd, it's so frustrating. Let me see. Have you seen pictures of Bud's physique? He looks jacked. Yes, I have. In fact, I can actually pull that up right now to give people a glimpse into what Terrence Crawford is working with as a stronger fighter at 168. When people were saying this brother was too small. And let me see. Also, I wanted to go and look at that poll real quick. Here we go. And I also didn't realize he also put up a thing on VADA testing, because for some reason I didn't get to that argument, but for some reason the public was getting on Tank for VADA. You ain't doing it clean and all that stuff. He's throwing all that out the window now, and I'm gonna show y'all the pictures. Let me real quick read some of these chats. I don't know why a clean fighter would ever want to join forces with Victor Conte, and it's like again, Victor has been at the core of a lot more conversations lately, and people are really starting to question, hey, brother, what is your validity? Though, again, valid in terms of, yeah, he's worked with drug testing agencies, but also he helped make the schemes for said testing agencies. And now, accusing him with Snack having the ability to go through and Is he or is he not illegally yet cleanly making supplements to make his fighters better and make his fighters the way that they are? Or is it just a ironic coincidence? It's been a big conversation with that whole thing. But real quick, let me look at the pictures right now. Let me go in and give you all what Crawford looks like now at 160. Oh, excuse me, at 185. Hold on, wait a minute. Oh, what you mean 185? Excuse me. I'm sorry. I hope this is trolling. He's 108. Hold on. Time out. Wait a minute. Wait a second. Wait a minute. Wait. Wait. What do you mean he's 185? I know he posted this. Yes, Terrence Crawford himself, I believe, posted this about the letter with Vada going through the testing agencies and all that stuff. Again, validating, hey, I'm clean. I ain't doing nothing dirty. As you can be right here, going through specimens analyzed, enhanced voluntary drug testing. Now it's confirmed. Results are negative. He's clean, and everything seems to be on the up and up. So again, this is something that Crawford put out himself. But can somebody else confirm for me if this is true? Is this true? I'm serious. Is this true? I'm serious. Is this true? Is Crawford legitimately 100? Excuse me, not 175. Is he legit 185 pounds? And he's gonna cut that. No, don't want to. Hold on. Yeah, shoot. Hold on. Oh Lord. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, what happened? Oh, wait. Okay. Thank God. Is Crawford a legit 185? Is he actually 185, or is he? As I'm trying to make myself just a tad bit bigger. Is this true? Like, I'm so serious. Is this true? If he's 185, looking like this, oh my gosh. Oh, shoot.
Hey, we got some problems here.
Oh, shoot.
We got some problems here.
Brother, we got some major problems. We have huge problems. If this indeed is legit. Oh my gosh. And see, did we not talk about? Did we not discuss? And also, facts. Yeah, brother. Hey, if this is facts, man, this is insane. Because let me tell you something. With Terrence Crawford, we have been saying, how is he going to be able to handle the weight? Can he even get up that big? Will he be able to have the strength necessary to still be dominant? Or will it just be a fruitless effort? Well, I was saying that Crawford is one of the most genetically gifted specimens that boxing has to offer today. I have been saying that Crawford, he can make the weight, and he might be stronger than any of us may actually realize when he actually steps into the ring. And now we thought he was 168 when he was up with Canelo, as both of them were side by side with each other or face to face with each other. But it turns out he was closer to 180, now confirmed officially 185. So shoot, he's fighting. That's Artemidabiev. Hey, but that's Beterbiev. That is Benavidez right now. And he looks like a brick house. This man looks like he looks like a concrete jungle. Which is crazy. He looks like a concrete jungle. With you see the traps. He still has abs. It ain't fat. It ain't fat and muscle mixed together. Nah. But this dude is ripped. This man is bulked. I'm serious. This makes me like. But see, look at it, and you know what really makes this dangerous for Canelo? Look at his forearms. Look at his forearms now compared to his forearms when he was at 147 or 135 or even 154. Some of the biggest punchers that we know have forearms similarly built like this, where it looks, what's the word? It's not just muscle, but it's like rock. Like it looks sturdy. It looks chiseled is the wrong word. I'm trying to get my words together. But this type of physique, every time I've seen it on somebody, normally it brings along with it a lot of crack in their punches without having to try. Normally, Archibald be a perfect example. Similar, again, different physique because again he's a behemoth. But in terms of if you look at how he's cut, it's a body that brings power with that effortless. It's a body that brings strength without trying. It's a body that is just, it's with the greatest of ease. Boom, boom. You're hurt. Gennady Golovkin, similar situation. George Foreman, similar situation. This type of, you can even argue Kovalev in his prime. Similar situation. From here to here, excuse me, from here to here, when this is like built right, brother, it brings power without a jab. All of a sudden becomes a straight right. A right straight just thrown with his arms, all of a sudden turns into a knockout blow. This is a dangerous sign for Canelo. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that Crawford's too small anymore. I don't want to hear that. We can put that to bed. We can put that to bed today. Thankfully. Now, with this as visual proof, we can put that to bed. But this brother is ready to fight. He's ready to fight. And him cutting, and understand. He's got to cut to make weight at 168 to make the limit. But then afterwards, he can rehydrate even more. So on fight night, I dare say, we may be able to see Canelo and Crawford actually at the same weight by the time the night of the fight comes around, with both of them rehydrating up. Because remember, there's no rehydration clause. There's no limit to how much each fighter can get up and weight. And we also know that if Canelo gets too big, like he was against Bivol, but his stamina is going to take a even bigger hit than it's already perceived to have taken right now in his advanced stage in his career. And that can be a bigger detriment. So for Canelo's own best interest, he can't even get up as big as he may want to get up just to dominate this fight, or else he may not have the gas tank necessary to go 12 in that sixth gear and be the fighter that he needs to be, hypothetically. But Crawford can get up potentially 185, dare I say 190. And if he can get up to that comfortably, ooh, that's a dangerous sentiment. That's a really dangerous sentiment. Oh, that's horrifying in the best way. Let me see. Bud still has another month to train and acclimate to his body weight. Yes, he does. And right now, again, looking wise, and from the little that we've seen from training with pads and others, or with pads, rope work, and my apologies, excuse me, with oh gosh, with pads, with road, with jumping rope, and him working on footwork inside the ring, doing I think some similar training to what Roy Jones would do, ducking under the ropes, and getting in a rhythm. It looks like he's acclimating just fine. It looks like there's no problem. It looks like there's a level of comfortability when it comes to Crawford at this weight. And it's looking like he's going to be the same Crawford that we've seen him as all throughout his career. Just now with an even bigger body to do the exact same work, which is incredibly scary. It's incredibly scary. Let me see. I keep thinking about Jamel He looked jacked at 168. And we saw how that played out. And you're right. We did. We did. But you also have to understand, night of fight, he was smaller than Canelo. Number one. Remember, Canelo came in 168, right on the button. Charlo came in 163, maybe 165. Night of the fight, though, again, he was cut. Like, it was bigger than we ever seen him. Absolutely. But night of the fight, even when he rehydrated back up, it still wasn't looking bigger than Canelo. And it definitely didn't look like what we see with Crawford right now. And this is not disrespect. We're calling like we see it. We remember. And also, Charlo was not anywhere close to the talent that we see Canelo has. And mind you, we were people around my city before, during the John Ryder fight. Around my city, people were saying, hey, Canelo's a bum. Give him to Charlo, any of the Charlo brothers, they'll whoop him up. I remember, I know, I can tell you where, I was at, whatchamacallit? I forget which restaurant. I was at some sort of restaurant that was showing the fight for free. And it was, I can tell you where I was sitting. I can tell you the 4 old brothers that that was sitting around the table, didn't know a doggone thing that they were talking about, and they were saying that Canelo ain't nothing, give him to Charlo, and they'll eat him alive. And that was a sentiment given by a lot of other people in the restaurant and across the city. Arguably, again, I haven't got to poll everybody, but a lot of conversation. Lo and behold, years later, we finally get it. You see what happened? Negatively, or rather to the detriment of the fans. They thought that Jermell Charlo was really on his level. Both of the Charlo brothers were, which was a bold-faced lie. And if you thought that, again, with all due respect, you're a bold-faced lie. There's no way that we saw Charlos, any of them on the level of Canelo, from just a talent perspective, let alone the power. Then we see the real difference in skill. On top of the size, you have nothing to the table that you can do. And you just lay down and quit and don't even try to make something better for yourself. But on the flip side with Crawford, we're looking at a man who actually has skills on par, if not better, than Canelo, depending on which side of the spectrum that you're on, with how much or how great you think Canelo is as a fighter from an IQ and technical perspective. For me, Crawford's better than Canelo as a boxer. Yes, he is. It's in a Bob Foster situation where it was like, it was competitive, but like Bob Foster just wasn't as a fighter better than Ali on top of the size mismatch. Crawford's actually better than Canelo. And right now, looks like he can actually give Canelo the work that Canelo normally gives out from a physical perspective. I don't ever remember Jermell Charlo being that big in any way, shape, or form coming up on the fight. Unless I misremember. He looked big. He ain't look like that. He didn't look like Bane. he didn't look like Bane getting ready for this fight. Like, brother, we've seen that type of fully flushed out, rounded physique that we see on Terrence Crawford here. Like, we weren't saying that with Charlo. Shoot, he's not as big, no question. But the comparison I'm about to make, he's not as big. But y'all remember that picture of Anthony Joshua when he was looking around like just more muscle than when he was at the most muscle that he ever had in his career? I think it was post Klitschko, and he had like brown gloves on. I can't remember when that picture was taken. But it was just like a, oh my gosh, type of Adonis type look. Crawford isn't as big as that, no question. But from the standpoint of a wow factor, this kind of fits like that. And it can be dangerous. It definitely can be dangerous. Again, on the night of the fight, especially if it's comfortable for him to cut this weight and then gain it potentially back the next day with rehydration. But my gosh, it's gonna be phenomenal. I think it's gonna be great. So I'm excited for it. But it's this now breeds more and more questions of, are Canelo's chances better or worse for this fight? Mind you, we were supposed to be talking about Manny Pacquiao. Just as a quick disclaimer, we were supposed to be. All this somehow we went from. Somehow we got from Pacquiao and Rolly Romero, could they win, to jumping into Crawford and Canelo. And will they win? I don't know how we got here. I don't know what transpired that got us to getting up here. But we're here. And again, we're still going to address the Pacquiao situation. My gosh, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be jumping around. It's just it just happened like that. But this is giving me more and more confidence that I'm telling you, if with Crawford being at 185 pounds, looking to be comfortably and ripped to all get out, with a couple months to cut and then also rehydrate, not of the fight, potentially all with no issue. We're looking at a dangerous situation for Canelo. We are now. Because now it's not just hyperbole. Of course, the night of the fight, yeah, we're going to have our real answer of what can Crawford do physically with Canelo. We get that. But in terms of the whole, or at least what the buildup, all of a sudden, one by one, we're getting answers getting knocked down like dominoes, or we're getting questions knocked over like dominoes, because the answers are being given in the gym. Is Crawford is Crawford as big as Canelo? We saw them face to face. It ain't far off. Can Crawford make the weight and be able to actually be fit? All of a sudden, we got pictures saying, yes, he can. Can Crawford be bigger than Canelo on the night of the fight? Hypothetically. With what we're seeing right now, potentially yes. Because he's 185 right now, and he's looking like an Adonis that is laden with power. This can also answer the question, can Crawford tag and hurt Canelo on the night of the fight? If this physique does indeed translate to a legitimate ability to have some crack to him, then the answer is yes, he can. Absolutely he can. If this physique translates to actual power, punching strength, not just physical strength, he can hurt Canelo. He can, and that was one of the things that was one of the most out of mind instances that I had with Canelo, that Crawford would be able to hurt him. That wasn't even on my radar of a highly likely situation. Getting the respect of Canelo, I said if Crawford does that, we got a whole new ball game of a fight. But if he can hurt Canelo, now that's a whole other conversation entirely. Wait a minute. All of a sudden, now you're doing something that even Gennady Golovkin couldn't do, hypothetically. That Bivol, Sergey Kovalev, and any other great heavy hitter of a fighter could not do to Canelo. Outside of, again, Miguel Cotto's brother early on in his career. Since he's transitioned into the prime, ain't never been rocked. Both of them, outside of Crawford getting knocked down by Calabasas in a knockdown that I don't think was counted, but still, both of them officially have not been knocked down. I'm not saying Canelo can't put Crawford down, because yes, he can. Oh, absolutely he can. Physique and all, Crawford can still get put to sleep like that. But now, on the other end of the spectrum, we're looking at a real situation where Crawford might be able to actually do some damage, real damage, to the likes of Canelo. And potentially, dare I say, have a chance to actually hurt him and maybe drop him. Brother, who knows? Who knows? My gosh, who knows? And that did happen. Great day in the morning. Shoot. Imagine if Crawford dropped Canelo. Great day. My God, wait a minute. Imagine if he had dropped him. Imagine if he drops him that night. The pandemonium that would ensue if he dropped Canelo. shoot, what if he knocks him out? Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Is that possible? I'm sorry, I'm thinking to myself, I'm sorry, but is that possible? Is it possible that we can see Crawford knock out Canelo? Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a second. Hold on. Is this an actual possibility? Shoot. Hold on. That's a, hey, I want to ask y'all, is that an actual possibility? It hasn't really been on my mind. I knew he had a puncher shit, but with this new revelation and what Crawford is actually operating with in terms of his body, but could he actually knock out Canelo Alvarez? Like, is that not just a hype or a facade of a situation anymore? Or is that real? Is that actually possible? Dang. I want to hear from you all, because that just popped into my head. But let me come over here. Let me see. Sack, what's good with you? Hey, brother, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in to the show. So glad that you're here with us on today. Mike Huncho, hey, glad that you're back with us. Appreciate you coming out on the show. So glad that you're spending your Friday afternoon with us on today. Like I said, it's the championship rounds. You all can talk about anything and everything that you all want to discuss on this show. You all drive the conversation. You all drive the entirety of where this show is gonna go, no question about it. And if you haven't already, go ahead and leave a like on the stream, because we got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. Again, we can talk about Canelo and Crawford. We can talk about Pacquiao versus everybody. Pacquiao versus Rolly. Pacquiao versus Barrios. Pacquiao versus Tank, even hypothetically. That's a fight that it has been in talks, at least ruminating somewhere over the internet. And shoot, Pacquiao versus Brian Norman, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia. There's a plethora of people that if you want to have the legend versus the next generation, with what you saw against Barrios, how do you feel about it? Or if there's anything else you all want to discuss that we didn't get to touch on over the course of the week, I want to hear from you all what you got to say on the matter. No question about it. But please, get the likes up, share the show. If you can't support the show, Cash App, PayPal, links in the description. If you like what you're hearing and you want to keep this show going, all you got to do is send us whatever you can. Not trying to, we ain't going to strong arm you. It's if you can. Mean the world to us. Help keep the lights on while we're waiting to get monetized and help us to make this show bigger and better so we can make this worth your while. Because, hey, y'all here for quality. We're going to give it to you, absolutely no question about it. Appreciate you all coming in on the show. Canelo is a minus 180 favorite, but I think that might drop even more closer to fight night. I think it will too. I think it will too. Even and especially if people really, because a lot of people, mind you, a whole bunch of people are basing this fight, Canelo and Crawford, off of just size alone. They are. Forget the skill aspect, forget the talent aspect, accolades and whatnot. Strictly off of who's bigger. There's a large portion of this population that's looking at this fight and that are saying Crawford's going to lose because he just is not big enough. If they see now Crawford being this big, and dare I say, when they face to face up again in the next to last press conference, in terms of in the month into the fight, or like in the month of the fight, all of a sudden, money's gonna shift like you don't know what. It's gonna swing like you wouldn't believe. It will swing like you wouldn't believe. I guarantee you, it would be insane. And let me see, if Crawford has always been the same size as Canelo, and there is no size difference. Oh, excuse me. So if Crawford has always been the same size as Canelo, and there is no size difference, does that mean Bud has spent his career shrinking down to lesser opponents? So, here's the thing. Canelo is a small super middleweight. Shoot, if we're going to be perfectly honest, Canelo was a small middleweight. 154 to 160 has been his biggest MO. But again, he is short. He is a short fighter. Genuine. And so Crawford is a taller fighter. He is. And just like with Crawford, and even like with Canelo, Canelo walks around bigger than just 168. He does, on average. Tank, yes, Tank walks around 135, sure. Though he can fight at 140, but that's his. Tank is actually in his natural weight class. A lot of boxers, most of the fighters that we see that are being weight bullied, if you want to use that notion, also are quote unquote weight bullies in their own right because they could fight bigger. They can. Jermell Charlo could fight bigger than 160. I'm gonna be real with you. He can't. He definitely could. He should, in my opinion, should have already been at 168 because that is a huge man. Genuine. There's a plethora of fighters that all fight bigger than their weight class, or they all fight or walk around, bigger than what they are. Crawford and Canelo specifically, same height, yes, they are, because Canelo is a naturally small guy. But Crawford has not always been the size of Canelo. Yes, at least from my understanding. Yes, though they are up here. So I don't think that he has been shrinking down because he's never really struggled. I mean, outside of again when he was younger and he was growing, he left from 135 to 140 and 147. The natural progression of time as you get older and as you mature into your body. Shakur Stevens is doing that same thing. Was at 130, was comfortably making 130, then struggled, made 135. Most likely he's going to start struggling in the future to make that, and then 140, here we come. Because he's just growing in that specific situation. And so I don't think that it's Crawford has always been bigger than or as big as Canelo. More so, similar to a Roy Jones Jr. situation or a James Toney-esque situation. He can fight and get to those bigger weight classes and acclimate just like that and be perfectly fine. Because as a specimen, yeah, my baseline can be down here. But I can get up to XYZ easy and be fine. And be okay. Now, again, it might be all these pictures are a lot, and he's actually going to be slower. He ain't going to have the same reaction time. All this stuff that we say that aren't going to be a problem may just be a problem for Crawford by the time the night of the fight comes. It very well could be. I'm being serious. But from the looks of it and how he has adapted and also done it right to get to 168, it's more so his body is capable of, if it needs to be molded to get to a bigger state, he can do it. And he can handle it incredibly well against similar to Roy Jones Jr. Again, 160, 168 was Roy Jones' best thing. If we're going to say that he should have been fighting at heavyweight, because he won the heavyweight championship, are we going to say that he was weight bullying everybody and he should have been up there the entire time? Nah. And he was close to the same size as John Ruiz. But nah, he shouldn't have been up there. That was the right weight class, 160, 168, was where it was at his best. Then 175, won, and heavyweight, of course, did his thing. Okay, we know the story. So I wouldn't say that he's been shrinking down. I think it's just he can naturally make it just fine. And he can be comfortable with it. Now, when it's time to really push himself to grow, okay, yeah, he can grow. I wondered about how Crawford will hold up with the punches targeting his shoulders, elbows, and hips. Now that's going to be interesting because of how Canelo does fight. That is a scary prospect. Because if Canelo does attack the arms of Crawford, and Crawford can't take it, like with Bivol was able to actually take those shots to the arms and shoulders and keep with the high output. Crawford, coming up from a smaller weight class, that can be a real detriment. That's what's made Canelo be able to go and dominate other fighters, which is taking the old Rocky Marciano method. Hey, I can teach some history. All right. Hey, let's go to class, shall we? Let's go to school. Let's have ourselves a little bit of a conversation real quick discussing the past history of the greats in the heavyweight division, like with the great Rocky Marciano. Dang it, I need some old-time music. That's what I need. I need to add that. I need to add some old-time music so we can do this. But let's go to school, shall we? For those of you that may not be aware, Rocky Marciano, the only undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, The man who Floyd Mayweather went to beat for his record of being 50-0 did it phenomenal. Reigned in the early, what was it, 19, I think it was, I want to say 1940s. I could be wrong. Can't remember the exact date. But anyway, the epitome of a brawler if there ever was one. And some people say wasn't really as technically gifted and sound, though his soundness in technicality was in the chaos of his brawling style. And the way he would go about doing it, one, had a granite chin like Stone. Two, was one of the strongest punchers in all of boxing history. In all of boxing history. Historians and other fighters that have lived throughout multiple eras were a testament to that. He had the ability not just to eat punishment, but to break you down by punching you. And not just by punching you clean, punching you whenever, wherever. He could do it. His whole goal was he would attack not just the body. He would attack the arms, the wrist, the shoulders, the chest, the elbow, shoot the back if you gave him an opportunity to. And he would make it so that you were bruised up, popping blood vessels, breaking muscle, fracturing bone, to the point that you couldn't keep your hands up to be able to defend from that powerful onslaught. And it also works so well because, again, the power that he had was truly generational power that he carried throughout his hands. This is a brother who was able to break you apart by just consistently, literally like a hammer to a stone, hitting the rock. Just hitting the rock. And he wasn't rocking his own right, so he could take the punishment needed to make you submit. And that's how he beat most people. And it was incredibly hard to stop. It was incredibly hard to stop. That's what Canelo does, not to the same degree, but he does takes that similar approach. Attack the arms, shoulders, and extremities of the body so that then you can't have the ability to go through and be the fighter you want to be by the time the later stage of the round comes. And if B-Ball was able to actually take that punishment, Floyd was also able to do it at 154. Now, granted, Canelo hadn't adopted that type of style yet against Floyd. So that's a little bit of a different situation. But still, Gennady Golovkin at the 160, still had his slicks, but also started to implement that level. Okay, I'm hitting everything I can. And he was able to take it. Though I think he should have won at least one of those fights. Against Charlo, did that same thing. Against Smith, did that same thing. Kovalev did that same thing. Now going up against Crawford, he can do that same thing here. And it's a dangerous situation for Crawford. But it is a situation that Crawford can potentially withstand because, again, the footwork of him and the reach that he would have on Canelo. I can't remember how much reach advantage he's got, but he's got the smarts to do a similar tactic to what Bevo did. And if he's got the physical capabilities that I think he does have as well, he might just be able to withstand that all-extremity attack and be able to say by the time rounds 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 come about, hey, I'm still able to throw like I want to throw. I'm not impeded by damage and bruising to the body or to my arms. I'm not worried about keeping up my block because I'm hurting, because I'm just fine. That's what we could see. And if so, that's an incredibly dangerous situation. Let me see. J.O., what's good with you? How you doing? Thanks for tuning into the show. So glad that you're here with us on today. Let me see what you got to say. Shakur against T.O. sparring footage. Did you follow? T.O. looked like he would be sharp with counters. Who would you think wins at 140 if they fight today? Ooh, that's a good question. Real quick, let me go through the rest of the chat first, and I'm going to come back to this comment because this is a very good topic to go and discuss. Did you already see Fantastic Four? Yes, I did. I think I already gave my review. The movie was fantastic. It was a true 7.5. It was slower paced. You might not like it if it's slower paced, but building up the team as the true best team in the world for that world specifically, because it's not set in the main MCU. They did a perfect job of that. The family dynamic of what the Fantastic Four is, they did a chef's kiss with it, and Galactus is actually Galactus. Legitimately. Not no cloud of smoke. Not no puff of weed. Like he was in the last couple movies. This brother's actually real deal in this one. And he fits the size mold and the almost indominating nature. And I will say, if you ain't seen it, Sue Storm comes up clutch. And because of what she does in this movie, she top 5. Strength-wise, MCU coming here, yeah, she top 5. I don't care. She top 5 with what she does in this movie. I ain't gonna spoil nothing. But let me see. I wish the old guys would go away and start a senior division. I'm sure people would watch. Hey, look, Tyson tried to do it. Couldn't, again, it kind of didn't really get the ball rolling with old retired fighters. I would be down for it if that did take place. I'm not mad if a fighter can come back like Pacquiao and actually be successful. We love seeing history. We do. And we love seeing greats be great across eras. At least I do. So I ain't got no issue with it if you can actually perform. If you can't, don't do it. No question about it. Now that it's wrong, you can though. Hey, we got some good stuff going on. Let me see. Kingdom Box, hey brother. Hey, how you doing? Glad you're back. I'm happy to see you. Hey man, how you been? It's been a minute, I understand, and hopefully everything's going a lot better for you. Hopefully life is going great, going sweet. And I'm so glad that you're with us today. And hopefully you can help. We're helping to make your day a little bit brighter, a little bit better, a little bit more entertaining, and at least have the weekend end off strong right here on this show. So we appreciate you coming out, my man. Let me see what's good, my guy. Welch the president. Hey, brother. Hey, I'm just a humble man. I'm just a lowly brother coming through trying to make a living. Oh boy. So I'm just doing what I can, man. I'm just doing send a little gift. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Everybody, stop the presses. Wait a minute. Let me validate this. Wait a second. Did we get paid today? Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold up. Like I said, if somebody sends money, I gotta go through some hoops, sadly, to make sure that I can verify. Because we ain't doing the thing on the thing. So, shoot. Hey, $10. Wait a minute. We got paid. Hey, we got paid today. We made some dough. We made some cash. Dang it, I knew this all wasn't for nothing. I knew it was gonna work out eventually. We made some dough. $10 from Boxing Kingdom. Appreciate you sending the dough, man. I appreciate it. Means the world to us. Thanks for giving to the channel. Thank you for supporting the show. And hey, hopefully you'll keep on sticking around. And if anybody wants to outgive the great kingdom, go ahead and try. Like I said, we'll turn this into an auction right here, right now. And well, it's not an auction. We'll turn a bottle. I said, what's it called in the club? When they bottle for bottle. That's what it is. Doggone it. We'll go bottle for bottle. We'll stop everything. Who can beat $10, huh? You got 15? You got 20? Shoot, you got 100. We'll go band for band. And we'll see. I will stop this show and run y'all dry. I'm kidding. I'm messing. I'm kidding. But we appreciate the $10. We appreciate supporting the channel. Again, I know it's not as intuitive as Super Chats yet or joining memberships yet. I'm still trying to learn how all that works, and we're still in the process of getting monetization. So again, give us some time. When it gets there, we're gonna hit it. Absolutely. Right now, it ain't. But trust me, we appreciate it, and we thank you so much for the money and for help invest back into this show. Like I said, anything we'll do. We ain't begging. It's my job, but we're gonna have some dignity. We gonna say we're gonna earn this money. That's what we're gonna do. So we appreciate it. If you want to give, again, Cash App or PayPal, links down below, whatever things you can do. And if you just want to spend time here, you ain't gotta give. We're just here having fun, building up a community, building up a channel. So we appreciate it, man. We appreciate this so much. But let me keep on reading. We don't want to harp on it. It's great. I love it. Well, we still got a show to do. Let me see. Lastly, any thoughts on Bud working with the biggest drug cheat in boxing history, Victor Conte, and doesn't take away from his possible win? So again, it's tough with this whole snack situation. Cause like the stigma is understandable. The danger is indeed prevalent. However, Crawford has come out clean in all of his fights. So has Devin Haney. And I think anybody else who has been able to work with Victor. However, Victor knows how to cheat the system. And so it's tough because like we know Crawford's only about work. And we know what that brother is as a fighter and as a man because we've seen him in and outside the ring. We have a understood visible reputation. Again, that who he is as an actual person could indeed change. We understand that completely. We get it. I don't know anybody personally. I'm a full disclaimer. So could something be? Until I see something pop, it's tough for me to say anything. But I know the danger of working with Victor. And again, like I've said before, there are other people on the boxing community, reporters and articles, that know more and are more in tune with the actual happenings of what snack is and what actually is it valid or is it not. I've been transparent with y'all. If I know something, I can talk about it. If I don't know something, I can talk about it up to a point. This is one of those topics I can only talk about up to a point. Because there are people that have more information on that I don't know, that helps to further the argument on one side or the other of whether or not this is indeed a dangerous situation that Crawford's actually, hey brother, it ain't a good look, or if it's if it's something valid. And so because of that, I'm not trying to duck the argument, but I don't know as much as I would need to know to give you a legitimate defined opinion. The only thing I can say for certain, Victor Conte running and creating the drug testing regime for VADA, which he was a part of, and now being part of creating supplements for boxers through SNAP, has a level of concern that absolutely deserves scrutiny and deserves detective investigation to make sure if he is operating like this, the stuff that he's given is the real deal. If not, call it out and abolish it entirely in terms of SNAP. Because if it ain't right, it ain't right. But at this point in time, because they have come out clean in all of their tests, and because seemingly it is something that is actually a supplement, again from what I know, only from what I know, I can only sit by and be cautious up until a clear red flag doesn't come into play. Because at this point in time, the evidence of somebody popping under Conte, at least with Crawford and Devin, for the years they've been together, it's been clean. And I don't want to cast dispersions, but I also don't want to give up on my on my sense of unease with anything involving drugs that Victor Conte has. So that's why I'm not trying to walk on eggshells. I'm not trying to play both sides of the coin. Genuinely, I don't have enough evidence to concretely say, hey brother, something's off. But I do have enough evidence to have a level of concern and to keep a watchful eye. That's the best thing. That's the best and most, most conducive stance I can take right now, up until I get more information. And like I said, there are more people that know more than me on this topic. Reach out to them. Look at them. Listen to what they have to say. And also, like I always say on the show, find out for yourself. Do your own research and make sure that you follow on the up and up if somebody is or is not doing what they're supposed to do. If I'm underinformed, guess what? You become more informed than me. If I'm missing information, you find that information. Because it's not about me being right or wrong. It's about being right for the sport. It's about everybody getting the right information. Because this ain't an opinion. I try to speak on everything that's factual. So because we try to do everything factual, I got to be sure that if I ain't got enough to say, I can have my skepticism, but also got to have enough evidence to say, yep, this is what's going on. And enough of a track record. And so at this point in time, I can't. But I am incredibly skeptical of everything going on with the content. I absolutely am. But at this point in time, I don't have enough evidence to concretely say, yep, he's cheating, get him out of here. But it's closeness to creating the system and then also making the system, I have extreme concerns. I definitely do. But without something concrete right now, I can't say anything for certain that, yes, this is problematic or it's not. I just know it can get really sketchy really quick. And so I got to be cautious. So that's what I got to say on the matter. But before I keep on going, we have, good gosh, we got a lot of people. Hold on. Ryan Graves, what's good with you? How you doing? Thank you for tuning in back to the show. So glad that you're here with us all today. Before I get to your question and before I get to the Ninja and CD, CD Blaze, hey, brother. How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning into the show. Glad that you're here with us today. I'm going back. There was a question I need to go and talk through. Is there another OG Blaze? Is this a different one? Is this I guess it's another OG Blaze. Hey, brother, somebody copying you. But how you doing? Good to see you. OG number 2. Thanks for tuning into the show. And Daryl Anderson and Yo Trey. Great day. Everybody's popping up right now. How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. So glad to be with y'all on today. Now, before I see all of your questions, I'm going to get to them. Real quick, though, I did promise somebody earlier I was going to get back to their question because they had definitely asked something. I think it was dry turkey. It was. Let me go find it real quick. And then I might go answer the stuff down below because y'all got a lot to say on this championship rounds weekend. Let me get to it. Hold on. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it. 180. That's their opponents. Talk to match them off. No. It was Jay. I'm sorry. It was J.O. J.O. had brought this question up. The Shakur versus T.O. footage. T.O. would look like he would give sharp counters. Who would win if they fought at 140 today? Shakur would win. If I was picking right now, Shakur's winning. Because Teofimo Lopez has yet to show against, I kind of want to say, I want to say Barboza was a difference, but he wasn't as elusive per se as we've seen with the likes of Sandor Martin, Ortiz, and now with Shakur that we're talking about. That would be a very good chess match. That would be some extreme high level boxing. But I think it is the distance management and the elusiveness that T.O. would be that Shakur would bring. Not just with being able to move only just an inch away, but also with his ability, if he does need to quickly change direction and keep T.O. off balance, he can do that. Similar to how Sandor Martin did. And T.O. hasn't shown me the ability to get over that hump definitively. Again, Barboza tried to do it somewhat, but again, he's not nearly as good of a mover as the other names that I discussed that did give him, into the T.O., some real trouble. So that would be some good work. But I think that Shakur would be able to win. Though T.O. in his counters, they were good. And he's definitely got all the physical traits to give Shakur all the trouble that he's worth. But I would say Shakur by a slim margin. I mean a slim margin. Because that's a good fight, man. That's a really good fight. That's a really good fight. Shoot, that's a good fight. Yeah, I would take Shakur by a very slim hump. But like T.O. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing. T.O. can get Tio was one of those fighters that at his best, he can get up to anybody in his division's level. He did it with Lomachenko. He did it with Taylor when Taylor was pound for pound and Tio was pound for pound. Or when Tio and Loma were pound for pound. It's the question is, would he be able to fight, or would he be, because of I want to say the consistency and the up and down career that we've seen with Tio from time to time? The question of where he would be at on that night, would he sustain that high level? If so, then we got the likes of then we got Tio winning. If he sustains that high level of what he was able to do against the likes of Lomachenko, Taylor, and I guess what we saw with Barboza, though Barboza nowhere close to Shakur, then yeah, I could see exactly why Tio would win. It's just because of that still unease, per se, of whether or not we're going to see that best version of Tio against a Shakur that we never had to question consistency with, again, when he's healthy. I would take Shakur by the slimmest of margins. But it's close. It's close. Y'all may not agree, but it would be incredibly close. And let me see. And it's it's at 140. What? Wait. Oh, wait. Hold on. Time out. 140? At 140? I missed that. I completely glossed over that. Hold on. I missed that side of the argument. At 140, at his best, oh, shoot. Yeah, at his best, at 140, Tio. At 140, I missed that. I'm sorry, I missed that. At 140, at his best, I think Tio would beat him. That would be, again, it's still high level. But now you're dealing with a Tio that can box with Shakur and got crack. So if he didn't land on Shakur like Zepeda did, it's actually going to, because 140 Tio was knocking brothers out and could outbox you. 147 Tio ain't really putting people to sleep. Not saying that that's everything, but boxing ability, again, it has been up and down, but it's there. It still would be, can Tio get around the elusiveness of a fighter? Because again, Lomachenko gave him all the trouble. Ortiz gave him a lot of trouble. Sendo Martin gave him a lot of trouble. Again, that was up and down. And if it's at the highest of highs, Shakur would be, I'm not calling him Lomachenko, but in terms of the trouble that Lomachenko gave Tio, would be a similar thing. However, Tio, again, if he's at his best, yeah, he'd be able to take him. If it's that, yeah, I would say Tio would be able to win. I would say that. If it was at 140. Because that Tio, at his best, that Tio, that was a bad dude. That was a bad dude. That was a bad brother at 140. So yeah, I'm sorry, I missed that part of the conversation. If it was at 140, yes, Tio. Because that version of Tio is something serious. And again, if you don't agree, I understand. But that's I would have to take Tio in that division for me. Let me see. Triple G fights like that. Triple G won first fight. Going back to the other conversation. Let me see. Ryan Graves, how you doing? I already said hi to you. The three to the body by Canelo would be Crawford's kryptonite, and Crawford missing the timing of that 1-1-2 or the 1-1-4. And you right. But see, the question is, will Crawford let Canelo land that shot to the body? Or would he try to actually counter that shot to the body? Just like he went and successfully countered Spencer's left straight that nobody else was able to do, though there was an opening there. Without Canelo loads up with that left hook to the body, there's a conversation that could be a thing that potentially, if Crawford cracks him then, and is able to get out of the way, similar to what we saw with William Scope, not running, but legitimately getting out and then landing combinations of his own. There is a way to success that he can turn the potential biggest weapons of Canelo into the biggest detriments against Canelo. And so it Absolutely. It can be some trouble. No question. But it can also work in his advantage, in my estimation. But let me keep on reading. And let me keep on the show. Let me see. OG Blaze, with salute to you. How you doing? So glad you with us on day. Let me see. I'll be dropping big bucks when you go. Oh, okay. All right. Hey. That's great. I'm expecting nothing but 120. If you want to chat and get your thing up put on here, we're doing nothing but $120. We do anything below 50. I'm not even gonna look at it. So, I'm kidding. I'm messing. Again, when we get monetized, we will give you all the big announcement, big go ahead. And hey, if you can support during it, hey, feel free to. We appreciate it, no question about it. But let me keep reading. Bud looks like a fat small guy now, not muscle, just chubby. I beg to differ. Now we brought up the picture before. No, that ain't the picture. Hold on, wait a minute. We about to have an echo. Oh, stop, please stop. There we go. This is again. It is incredible. It's not cut, but you can clearly see it ain't flat to me. This don't look like flat to me. This looks like really good, really solid muscle. That once, sure, of course, when it comes to trying to bulk up, you're gonna have some fat. Once he cuts this down, you're gonna see exactly what I'm talking about when I say this, but he's got some strength to him now. And it's a dangerous situation, absolutely. But let me keep on reading. The chat. Hold on, trying to catch up to everybody. We had so many people commenting. All right, Daryl Anderson. Hey, did you hear about Tank? What happened with Tank? Hold on.
Hey, look at this.
Hold on. Wait a second. What happened with Tank? What did I miss something? What happened with Tank Davis? Wait a second. Let me see. Yo, Trey, can you fill me in? Can you help me out? Let me get back to the chat. Let me see. Yo, Welch, Tank is scared even if he signs if he signs late to fight Roach. He knows he will lose the belt, making him a short-term champ. I don't throw the word scared around lightly. But I do think that he is afraid of what a loss will do. And he's already stated his pride can't take it. Now, at this point in time, the fight seems like it's off unless something happened, that I completely missed, that the fight's back on. With again, Daryl Anderson, if you can fill me in on what's happening with Tank, please do. Because this is, if something is going on, this is news to me. But if he does sign the fight late, we already covered Sugar Ray Leonard, second fight, did the same thing against Roberto Duran. And again, to keep him out, to help to bolster his ability to go through and put Duran on the back burner. It was a strategic move. We want to say that that's the same thing that Tank is trying to do to Lamont, though Lamont Roach is training. But also, he's also sounding like, this fight might not happen. And you're and Calvin Ford even saying we'll fight people when the stuff is right. But even still, I am asking if Lamont is indeed training, and this does backfire. The same thing I said about what Tank is right now still holds true. He would lose. He would lose if he fought against Lamont Roach right now. Shoot, he would lose against Shakur Stevens. I dare say he might lose against Abdullah Mason because how he's the way he's going about fighting, even away from the outside stuff, or even objective to the other stuff that's going on. It would still be a situation where mentally he's not there to be able to win. He's not there to be able to fight. He's not there to be the Tank that we know, because this Tank is not focused on legacy. He is in retirement mode, in the words of, I think it was Timothy Bradley, and we did a show on it yesterday. And so it's like, it would be, I hate it, because I just want to see the fight. We would love to just talk about the fight, but the fight might not even happen. So it's a shame. Hold on, wait a second. Wait a minute, hold on. Everybody, wait, hold. Wait. Wait, 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 hold on. Wait a second. Wait, wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. Oh, I'm going. Nah, we searching this up right now. He is temporarily retired? Hold on. We looking this up today. Right now. Where is it? I know he said he was going to retire. And then he didn't. Again, that was 3 fights at the end of the year. Then rumors came out by Rick Glazer that said that he was retiring. Or reporting. He said he was retired. Tank's team put that to rest, that he's not retired. Has something transpired of recent, giving an indication that he is indeed temporarily retired, as you're saying? Because I'm trying to figure out, the last thing I saw with Tank Davis was an interview with Calvin Ford. Let me pull this up right now, so we can all be on the same page real quick. So we ain't, okay, so yeah, here we go, okay, see, yep. So right here, this was the last instance of info that I got or that I've seen with the likes of Calvin Ford. Again, the source himself, covering what's going on with Gervonta Davis. And real quick, let me make sure that it ain't too loud, because I do not want to blow out you all's eardrums. Give me 1 second. Hold on.
Outside the ring and in the ring. What was going on in that last fight? Because a lot of people were confused.
To tell you the truth, I couldn't even tell you. But right now, stay tuned. I'm telling you, stay tuned.
All right, okay. All right, yes, okay. So let me play the clip right now. You just had to make sure it wasn't going to be way too loud. And we can actually, that should be good enough. So let me play the clip real quick.
You know, a lot of people said that wasn't Tank. You know what I'm saying? And it touched my heart that people recognize it, that it wasn't.
Outside the ring and in the ring. What was going on in that last fight? Because a lot of people were confused.
To tell you the truth, I couldn't even tell you. But right now, stay tuned. I'm telling you, stay tuned. Yeah. You know, a lot of people said that wasn't Tank. You know what I'm saying? And it touched my heart that people recognize it, that it wasn't him.
But you,
it's a connection. Just like our brand, Box Raw, it's a connection. Anybody that you build a relationship, it's a connection.
I'm going to see you guys back together.
Well, we are together. We always together. We always together. Trust what I'm saying.
Okay, now that's not the clip that I thought this was going to be, but still. Okay, no, here's the one. Okay, right here. I'm sorry. Here's the one that I meant to have go up. I do apologize for that. Let me play it right now. In regards to Tank and potential retirement or not, I believe this is the clip that I was actually looking for.
He's a fan for Gervonta Davis, but there's always this thing we want to see him fight the guys that, other people recognize, like for example, Timo with Deb and all these kind of guys. I know they're a bit bigger, but they're the kind of fights people want to see me. Are you going to see them men of likes?
We will see the type of fights we want to see, but it's all on the business. It's all on the business. And everybody don't understand. The promoters, managers, to get together to put the fight in. It's a lot of T's and dots got to be crossed. You get what I'm saying? Because you have to understand what it takes to put a program or put an event together. It takes a lot. You get what I'm saying? And then you got to take care of everybody because you don't want to put a bad name on your name.
Right. And could we see on a Riyadh season card? I know there's been a vet. Flacco Ford between himself and Ted Gannon Shake. Do you think we can fix that?
Just got to wait and see. You know what I'm saying? Wait and see.
Like something big's coming.
You know something? That's why I'm trying not to say nothing. I'm trying to, remember I told you Tank like to keep his fans in suspense.
I'm waiting for that picture in Turkey's hotel room, Tank, and actually shaking hands like I do with Jake Paul.
Yeah. But like I say, you got to give him his props because he's coming in the inner city. He's working with the coaches, working with the man. He's working with everybody. He's trying to really actually bring hope. And that's what it's all about. It's all based on the fighters. It's all based on the fight. He just told me, he said, man, we looking at these guys to see which guys we're going to put on the Canelo and Crawford fight. And I said, wow. And that's a good avenue. Do something for the community at the same time and then wind up putting the guys on the card. That's different.
100%. I want to ask you something. Question on Gervonta himself. We saw last year, he become Muslim. How's his journey as a Muslim for you?
You know how it is as a young Muslim, man. So much to learn, so much to do. Your ups and your downs. You gotta say, he was born in it. You know what I'm saying? But to me, I think he's doing a fantastic job of navigating through it. Main thing I always tell him, I say, yo, make sure you make your prayers. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the most important things. Make your prayer and read. One of the first ayat Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Iqra, read for your Lord. So once he get that down packed, everything will fall in place.
That's amazing. If you help him a lot with that.
When I'm with, you know what I'm saying? When I'm with him, but I try to show him, like Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did for us, try to be the best example for him.
Last question for you. Crawford, Canelo, who wins?
Okay, so yeah, so again, I played the whole clip so we can get everybody on the same page completely with what's going on. So we don't. So I wasn't trying just to be silent for nothing. Like I said, I had only seen. I thought the first clip was the right clip. Second clip was actually the right clip. I ain't got to see the whole clip of that second clip, so I would let it play out just to be sure we're on the up and up. But that is the only thing I've seen of recent with news on Tank post getting confirmed that he has not retired. Calvin Ford said they have plans in the Tank. Nothing's been said that I could find by the team saying that he's temporarily retiring for a little bit. And theoretically, everything's on the table based on what we're talking about right now with this fight with Tank. So I'm not trying to overread into stuff, but also, like Calvin Ford said, Tank is keeping everything close to the hip, and it's like I can't lie. Right now, Tank, you shouldn't be keeping stuff this close to the hip of what you're trying to do. I'ma be real. The mystery of what Tank's gonna do next right now is working completely against him. It's working completely against him because now we are no longer, or fans, even his own fans, are no longer satisfied with just, hey, Tank's gonna do something great. Just wait and see. Just wait and see. Just wait and see. No longer. Ain't no more just waiting and seeing. We don't have time anymore to just wait and see. We got to have something because at this point in time, the only thing we want to wait and see is you versus Lamont. But if you ain't signed the contract yet and you're still saying that we got plans, big plans, just hold on a second. Nothing makes sense because everything at this stage is uncertain. And it looks like there's no plan of action. He brought up shaking hands with people. He brought up going through and again, potentially working with Turkey Al Sheikh. All that stuff. Well and good. I'm down for it. They can do some great stuff together. But the issue is they got to have a blueprint at least somewhat understood. Because right now, even his own fans are sick of, hey, what's going on? Now, we do understand he's going through some legal issues. Maid Bell still got a trial in August because of the domestic violence incident with him and his girl. I completely understand that. I completely understand. However, there is a concern that all of this facade can't stay up for just waiting and seeing no longer. It can't. Even with the litany of we got to handle business. And again, that's probably why this Lamont Roach fight ain't been signed at all. Because one, the trial's in August. The fight date is August 16th. Trial's in like August 12th or 10th. So like 10 days from now. And it's a concerning effort because we are looking and saying Tank as a fighter is a brother who right now, even with other stuff going on, understandable, should still have a roadmap that we can follow. And right now we don't. And even with the understanding that stuff can't happen right now, yes, because of the whole legal situation, you keeping stuff tight to the chest because you want to keep your fans uneasy. But at this time, for Tank, that's the worst thing you can have. Uneasy. Because you being uneasy, it's just we're already uneasy about Tank's quality of fights over the course of however many years. What, 3, 4? We are also uneasy about Tank's own talent. Genuinely, we are. because of what he showed against Lamar Roach. Even if this is true that he wasn't the same brother, still got to have a level of some foundation that you can hold on to. And right now with Tank, we ain't got that. Tank cannot afford to be this close knit. You gotta give the public something. Or the scrutiny is gonna be oh so loud. And he's already said he can't take losing, but if he loses the love of the public, but if his own fans start saying, hey, I'm sick of him, like they already are, they start turning on him like they already are, if they start getting tired of Tank, and they start calling him a circus, a clout chaser, somebody who runs around, somebody who's just trying to go off of a name, you ain't got no substance. If all of a sudden the noise of Tank has no legacy starts getting louder and louder, and Tank's not giving anything to quiet it, brother, it ain't just going to be in the ring that Tank's going to be affected. Outside of the ring, all of a sudden, the brother already doesn't like criticism. Now, if he's got the world against him, even his own fan base against him, it's going to be bad. It's going to be really bad. So for the sake of his own standing in the public eye, he's got to give us something, because if not, it's going to be problematic. It's going to be so problematic. And it's just a mess. It's all of this is just a mess. Because this cleanup in silence and you never know what we're going to do, but we're going to do something big. That can only carry you when you do stuff big consistently. Because now the expectation for what Tank's going to do has completely shifted. Now it's getting into Canelo territory. You can't do whatever you want anymore. You got to do this one thing. You have to fight Lamar. Outside of that, we don't want nobody else unless it's Shakur. That's all. Like I've said before, he's in a rock and a hard place. And if he keeps on going down this road, that rock is going to start sliding back. And that hard place is going to be at Tank's back. And pretty soon, he's going to get crushed under the weight of his own illusion. And brother, that spells danger. That spells some serious danger. I'm telling you, my gosh, hold on, wait a minute. We have 13 people in the chat. We've had people commenting left, right, and center. My word, I am not trying to miss nobody. Shoot, we got a lot of you. Okay, hold on, wait a minute. Hey, everybody slow down a second. Hold up a minute. Let me see. Let me keep on reading. Let me see. I might start just picking some of the best ones that I can. I think we got new people. We got Aaron. Shoot, I didn't even get to say hi to Aaron. Aaron, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for the show. So glad that you're here. Roger used to beat cars down and throwing every shots on their arm. Yeah. What? Yeah, he did his worst a little bit. I don't think that was the most dominant part of his game, but he could do it if he needed to. Absolutely. Let me see. Mason has a future, no question. He does. Abdullah Mason. I want to see him fight. Most definitely. Boba Shark. Hey, brother. Unless you the same man, different name. But I don't. This. Shoot. Listen, we got Shark Sack. Do we have a third? Are there triplets? Potentially. Marciano gets no respect, and the dude never lost. Yeah, no, he to a degree, he has been undervalued by a lot of people. Now, granted, again, he beat Joe Louis, he beat Edgar Charles, he beat George Joe Walcox. He beat a lot of greats of their time. Now, one of the criticisms is the brother was older, or rather, they were older when he fought them, but still, he's great nonetheless. No issue about that. I'm never going to disrespect him. And his legacy, absolutely. Let me see. Let's see. Sam Noakes versus Abdullah Mason. Is he the real deal? He is. Now, again, Noakes is a good fighter. I'm not saying he's a world beater. He is a good fighter. He did earn a shot at the title to fight against Abdullah Mason. But Abdullah is and should be on a different scale, and it should be that we see Abdullah get the best of him and get a knockout. It should be. With how refined we're seeing Abdullah get with his technical ability. Forget the power. We're talking about his defense. We're talking about his ability to set traps and counter in the pocket. Being slick and comfortable, even amongst a lot of pressure, and being able to apply pressure smartly without needing to throw. Oh, he's the real deal. Sam Nooks, he's a good fighter, but it's gonna be a dangerous sentiment for him to have to go and fight against. Absolutely. Let me see. We got. I think there's somebody else that's in the chat. I'm trying to catch. I don't know why I can't find them. Hold on. Wait a minute. Are they here? Are they not? Great day. There's a lot of people. Shoot. Hold on a minute. Let me see. Tay. What's up, Tay? How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for being to the show. Hold on. Who's trolling? Like I said, I've been trying to keep up with the chat and talk. I'm a little bit confused. Wait a second now. Hold on. Who's trolling? Like, we love a community. We're down with the community. We want discourse, absolutely. But we also don't want a situation we got people trolling or coming through and trying to do this, that, or the third. So again, like I said, I'm still learning how to monitor this thing. So full disclaimer, but please, if you can, keep the discourse just with boxing. We can have some fun, absolutely. We can talk, we can conversate, but please, if we can, keep it clean. As a referee, trying to separate the masses, keep it clean. Yeah, please keep it clean. Keep it clean. If we keep it clean, we're gonna enjoy it. If we don't keep it clean, all of a sudden we got beef. I ain't trying to have no beef. And sure enough, there's so many people, I might not be able to break up everything. So I am not trying to go again. I'm trying to make a community of love, excitement. We want hype, absolutely, but we don't want to attack nobody. I don't know who. I don't know who's doing what. I'm coming in the middle of the fight. So I'm full disclaimer. I'm jumping in the middle of the fight. But whatever's going on, if we can, be respectful. Please, if we can, be respectful. Try to hold each other accountable, but also don't be so heavy-handed. And let's all try to keep this fun and still enjoy it. Because again, it is Friday. We are trying to have a good time. We are. And so, but let me keep on reading what you all have to say. Again, I ain't blaming nobody. I'm jumping in the middle. But whatever's going on, if we can, just try to make amends. And let's keep with the conversations rolling. Again, it is still the championship rounds. So we can talk about whatever you all want to discuss, absolutely. And so, so I'm all for that. No question about it. I would like to see Tank versus Schofield. That would be a great fight. That would be a phenomenal fight. That would be a fight if we want to talk about and see Schofield could do some damage to Tank. He can. Because now what we saw him do against Tevin Farmer, who again is indeed a tough brother, is indeed a real tough brother. When we're looking at the likes of Schofield, he could crack Tank. Oh, yes, he can. Yes, he can. And he can do it in a better way than what we saw with the likes of Rolly Romero. Now, again, Rolly Romero right now is a better fighter. Has become a better fighter than he was against Tank Davis for the sense of being smarter, more methodical, and a little bit more fundamental. Great. But with what he brought to the table that made Tank concerned was the explosiveness, the punching power, and the A to B transition of when he would commit to jump in to try to land shots. Mind you, his argument, he won the first 6 rounds of the fight before getting knocked out because of he would be able to have a true litmus, or excuse me, he was able to give Tank some trouble in the first 6 rounds because of that very explosiveness and athletic ability to jump at Tank before Tank could react, even with the speed of his counters, up until, again, Tank ultimately caught him with that hook and knocked him out, as we know how the story goes. But Schofield could be a fighter that if he is able to get at Tank on the inside as well, he could hold his own. Now, I'm not saying he's going to beat him. I'm not saying he's going to win against Tank, but he is a valid threat that does bring a level of strength and a level of pop that Tank would have to be concerned about. That would be, hey, a real test of, what if he gets caught in his own domain? We already saw Lamont Roach be able to take it to the likes of Tank. Schofield, as a strength fight or with strength, would have a legitimate advantage against Tank, not because Tank ain't strong, but Schofield, just as a physical fighter, is stronger. He's built like a brick house. This is not disrespect to Tank. Tank has more punching power, but Schofield's got the strength to do similar to what Lamont Roach did and make it so that when we do tangle up on the inside, and we here. Brother, I'm able to muscle you. I can shoulder you. I can create the separation with my strength and then uppercut. I can shove you off and push you back and force the pressure on you. Now, again, Tank being a counterpuncher could knock out Shakur. Absolutely, yes, he can. He could knock out Shakur as well, but he could also knock out Schofield. Look at this, Schofield defensively, as we've said, is still somebody that needs work. Schofield defensively still needs a lot of work. He is not a perfect fighter by any means. But as a threat level, he is a threat, though young, a threat that brings something to the table that Tank would have potentially some real work against. Though Tank, in my opinion, is a better fighter. Absolutely. But I would love to see that fight because that would be a legitimately good situation to see what's going on with how Tank operates, especially against somebody who, again, is just like has the qualities of Rolly, but was or is better at this stage in his career than Rolly was at his stage when he fought Tank, ultimately, at least in my opinion. But let me keep on reading what you all have to say. Even though Floyd, wait, hold on. Okay, let me see. Dale Anderson. Even though Floyd is a hypocrite, I think he was a good coach for Tank. See, Floyd was, as a fighter, teaching Tank. Because, see, Tank is, and again, listen close. I'm not trying to sound sacrilegious. Tank is a similar fighter to what Floyd was when he was Pretty Boy, before his hands were broken. Could knock out everybody. Of course, again, Floyd was a better fighter outright. But still, it would be it would be a situation where Tank with the counter-punching ability, the IQ in boxing, setting up shots and being able to tee off. Though Floyd would be more, in those early days, more aggressive. He was. And again, was getting people out at an incredibly high rate while still being defensive, unlike with Tank being more methodical. There's some similar characteristics. So as a coach, he was great. As a mentor, he was great, but it's just the way he controlled Tank's career to make it not about legacy but about money. That hurt him immensely, and that's the concern. That is the struggle, outright. And let me see. Regardless of what people say, regardless of what people say about Tank, he beat more champions than everybody from 130 to 140. Well, let me think. What champions did he beat? He beat Pedraza. He beat Leo Santa Cruz, but he brought Santa Cruz up. He beat Ryan Garcia, but Ryan Garcia was never a full champ. He beat Hector Garcia. Hector was a champ at 130. Then moved up to 135 to fight Tank. Frank Martin wasn't a champion. Tank was a champion at that point in time. Am I missing somebody? I don't think so. Cause let me see. Devin Haney beat Jorge Linares. I believe Linares was a champion. Lomachenko was a champion. Kambosos was a champion. Jose Ramirez was a champion. Who else? There's somebody else. Dang it, I'm tripping. That's at least 3 to 4. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's correct. Unless I'm tripping, I don't think that's right. If I'm in something, please excuse me. But I don't think that in my opinion, I don't think that's right. Let me see. We got Tank and Dev, two most hated fighters, beat more champions than all their peers. I know definitely Devin Haney did. Absolutely. But Tank, no, he didn't. No, again, Tank has as many titles and accolades as Rolly Romero. Like we said, cover the show. That's kind of problematic. That's problematic. Let me see. Joe Louis was the best heavyweight. Those was the best heavyweight. Hold on. Wait. Excuse me. Huh? What about Joe Louis? Best heavyweight never, in my opinion. Hey, look. Okay, no, hold on. No, wait. Okay, hold on.
We got some problems here.
All right, now, okay, hold
We
on.
got some problems here.
I don't know what's going on in the chat. I'm not trying to be a middleman or a manager, but my gosh, I'm I'm not. I don't know what's going on, and I'm confused. I feel like I'm missing a lot of information. Oh, okay. Okay. See, this is the problem. I was about to say, oh shoot. Oh Lord, I was getting ready. Okay, look, again, what trolling is going on? Because I'm not trying to overlook stuff. I ain't trying to monitor the chat. But I'm a little bit confused with what's happening. I don't know what's going on with who's trolling who. I'm just trying to make a show. I'm not trying to skip nobody, but like, shoot, I don't know who's trolling what. Let me see. You see what I mean? Another one is of the trolling. I'm confused. Who's trolling who? I don't know. Great day. Shoot. Okay, how do I handle this? Let me think. Like I said, please, we're trying to keep it boxing. If there is beef between people, please, if we could, agree to disagree and put it to rest. Because we have a lot of great conversations. And I'm just trying to, I'm good with debate, but we can't, we don't want to do trolls here. At some point in time, we're going to have to handle some business. I want to do that. I don't, but we may have to. And again, I don't know who's doing what. If people got other accounts, guess what? I'm cool with it. That means I get more viewers. So I'm making as many accounts as you want and keep on hitting the like. That'll help me out immensely. But still, we don't need. We don't want troll. I'm fine with disagreeing, but we also we gotta. I'm fine with debate. We can get hot with each other in terms of like getting, you wrong. I'm cool with that, because that's all within the realms of the sport. Beyond that, now we got an issue. So if we can, please try to, if there is trolling, please stop. If need be, we're going to have to handle some stuff. Because I know Trey, been here a minute, William Ninja, all of y'all been here. We've been growing. We love it. Absolutely. But please, for the sake of to keep Friday going great, we don't want to ruin people's day. we don't want to ruin people's day. So let's try just to keep it with the debate and argument. I'm cool with that, but let's not try to hit below the belt, please. And I'm not trying to use boxing. I'm not trying to use boxing references. I'm really not. It's just happening. But please, if we can. But let's keep on going. And let me see. Yo, Tony, what's good with you? How you doing? Good to see you. Oh Lord. See, we ain't trying to troll. We don't want to be throwing shots at each other. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, we ain't trying to bring up nothing that gets people hot. Please. We ain't trying to do that. I didn't even read the chat. I was just trying to say hi to people. But please, keep it respectful if we can. If we can, please do. Schofield doesn't beat anybody top 5. Ooh. Okay. Now we can harp on this. Okay, we can talk about this. We can discuss this. Let's bring it up. Let's go to the old, where is it at? The most reputable list I can think of, the Transnational Boxing Ranking Board, who is indeed at the top 5 when it comes to the lightweight division. Because again, might have shifted and changed. So we got Raymond Murtala, formerly Keyshawn Davis. He's up at 140 now. So let's change some of these things. Abdullah Mason, Gervonta Davis, Lamont Welch, Shakur Stevenson, and either Andy Cruz or William Zepeda, depending on who you have over who. Again, William Zepeda losing his last fight to Shakur, and Andy Cruz, I think, winning his last fight. I forget the name of who he beat, but is a very good fighter. Though he's only 6-0, 3 KOs. Is amateur background, all that stuff. We understand. So let's go through the list. I don't think he beats Tank. I'm cool with that. No issue with that. I don't think he beats Tank. I know for sure, with all due and this is with all due respect, I don't think he beats Shakur. I don't think he beats Shakur. I think I dare say and this ain't just off the backs of the William Zepeda loss. Well, actually, before I even get to that, doesn't beat Tank, doesn't beat Shakur. Lamont Roach, I want to say he doesn't beat, but at the same time, I'm as impressed. I do need to see Lamont have another fight so I can ensure it wasn't just a one-time fluke situation. So we ain't got a Buster Douglas. He came out and fought great, and the next fight, he wasn't never really all that going up against the other competitors. But for now, I'll say Lamont doesn't beat, or I'll say not Shakur. I will say Schofield doesn't beat Lamont for now. So that's 3. Does he beat Abdullah Mason? I don't think Schofield beats Abdullah Mason. That's 4. Now when it comes to 5, it's either Zepeda or Andy Cruz. I think he does beat Andy Cruz. Excuse me. I think he beats William Zepeda. Excuse me. If they fought against each other. Because of, it wouldn't be slick like Shakur. It would be offense on offense. And I think we would see Schofield be able to beat even that overwhelming offense of William Zepeda. And if you have Zepeda at 5, then okay. If you got Raymond Murtala at 5, for me, that's 50-50. I think Murtala's a champion, so he will be there regardless. And so that's 50-50 for me. Schofield versus Murtala. I'm leaning towards Schofield, but even still, 50-50. And then there comes the Andy Cruz. Now, Andy Cruz, I want to give it up to you all, because now, I don't know. Andy Cruz is the butter I'm not sure about of whether or not he beats Schofield or not. I'm not sure. Let me see. Andy Cruz may be too old. Yeah. He hasn't looked as impressive. Maybe age, he's only 6-0 though. But he's you know what? I'll go out on a limb. I'll go out on a limb. Andy Cruz loses to Schofield. I'll say it. Cruz loses to Schofield if Schofield fought him. He loses to Schofield if Schofield fought him. I think he does. I think he definitely does. It would be. I got Cruz over everyone. Really? Now hold on. Now that's a bold statement. But hold on. Wait a minute now. That's a. Hey, I respect the bravado. I respect the bravado, and I respect the passion. Are you sure? Are you sure he beats Shakur? Are you sure he beats a Tank? Even with all the talk that we say about Tank, mind you, it's still Tank Davis. He doesn't. I don't. He's still one of the best as a talent. He still is worth the hype. He just ain't fighting nobody. That's our biggest concern. He just ain't fighting nobody. But I don't think he beats him. Excuse me, I don't think Andy Cruz beats him. I don't think Andy Cruz beats Shakur. If we can go off of the backs of what happened with Lamont Roach, I don't think he beats Lamont Roach. I don't think he beats Lamont Roach. Maybe Murtala, but even then, that's kind of restricted. That age is something serious now. Cruz started too late, and he's getting old. Yeah, it's for all of the perceived talent. No, he's getting up there. He's getting up there, and some people might be saying he's slowing down a little bit. Some people might have the inkling that he's starting to lose some of the luster about what he was as a fighter at his best. Now, and he might need to pick up the pace a little bit. So that's why, again, with the IBF, the old situation going through. So it's like, he's 30, he's 30, but he looks 40. But like, and looks aside, he still is able to fight well. But there is a clock. There's a clock. There's a big time clock that for Cruz, brother, is ticking, and it's ticking quick. It is ticking. It's ticking quick. It really is ticking quick. And so I don't think he beats him. Andy Cruz, even with as great of a talent as he may be, I think that he is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 amongst the top 10. And we're going to put where he would rank in terms of who I think he would be able to beat in the division. He's 8. He's 8. Because none of the people at the top right now, I don't think he beats. I don't think he, at this point in time, I don't think he beats. Let me see. Andy Cruz and Murtala was in negotiations not too long ago. They were. And like I said, we were talking about, I think at the start of the show, with the whole title situation. Murtala, Andy Cruz, Robert Garcia talking about the whole situation with mandatory being made. Somebody's ducking who. IBF is also involved with that belt, so that's a whole other conversation of why that fight hasn't been made. It's a lot going on right now. It is a lot going on right now. So let me see. Andy Cruz versus Keyshawn Davis needs to happen. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yeah, well, at 140? Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, stop. Hold on. At 140?
We got some problems here.
At 140, because it ain't going to be at 135. At 140, ooh. Oh, he ain't winning that. Oh, no. Ooh. I don't think he's winning that. I don't think he's beating Keyshawn at 140. I don't know about that. He better take it. I think he better take his chances at 135. Because I don't think he's beating him at 140. I don't think so. Shoot. That is, that's, again, even though he missed weight and had to move up, and with all the drama that happened after his brother's fight, where he can sucker punch Albright, there's still Albright and Keyshawn's brother are in the road to making a rematch with each other. All that it's bad. His stock has dropped immensely, but the fighter is still the fighter. If Keyshawn Davis was at 135, and Andy Cruz was at 135 like he is right now, I wouldn't have said he beats him then. At 140, I definitely don't think he beats him at 140. This ain't no disrespect to Andy Cruz. It would be a good fight, but I think Andy Cruz he gets knocked out. I think he gets knocked out in that fight. I think he gets knocked out bad in that fight. If he fights him, because to me, Andy Cruz has lost somewhat because he's old, and again, he ain't got a lot of pro fights in him. Is it bad to say there's already some aggression in his talent of when he first popped up on the scene and was all that? Like, he's 30 and looks 40, yes, but it's he's got 6 fights, but like after that 4th one, I'm like, wait a minute, this ain't, maybe I'm just not sold. Maybe that's just me. With all due respect, maybe that's just me. And if that's me, I'm completely fine. But Andy Cruz do not fight Keyshawn. In fact, has Andy Cruz been calling out? Has Cruz been calling out Keyshawn Davis for a minute? Has that been the beef going on between them two? Has Cruz been calling Keyshawn Davis like his son, and like going through and saying, hey, Poppy's calling you home. It's time for me like to put you in your place or something like that. Okay, yes, okay, so that's the truth. Okay, all right. That adds up a little bit more. That fight still needs to happen. Absolutely. I don't think Andy Cruz beats Keyshawn Davis. I think Keyshawn knocks out Andy Cruz. They do fight each other. And this is just me. If I'm Andy Cruz's team, but I'm scared. I don't know about that. What I was looking right now, I would stay away. I would definitely stay away. Keyshawn versus Frank Martin. Ooh. 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 Wait a minute. Frank Martin's at 140. Keyshawn Davis is at 140. Frank Martin's coming up with loss. Keyshawn's coming up with a lot of drama. Frank Martin, seemingly in the gym, looks to have retooled and regrouped. So, and Keyshawn still looks like Keyshawn Davis. If that fight did take place at 140, that would put them in a position to get a quick shot at a title opportunity at this new division if each one beats the other. It's a fight that makes sense. It's a fight that would be entertaining. The smack talk would be good. The fight itself would be good. Hey, wait a minute. You might be on to something. Hold on now. Wait a second. Hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold up. That might be a good fight. That didn't even cross my mind. That might be a really good fight. And you know what? Frank Martin could give a lot more trouble than we may expect for the likes of Keyshawn Davis. But I'm going to say this. If he fights like he fought against Tank again, he's getting knocked out in the same fashion. If he fights like he fought against Tank against Keyshawn Davis, he's getting knocked out the same way. Because he was too defensive in that fight with Tank Davis. And allowed it for Tank to be able to, again, with Frank Martin again throwing the jab and trying to, keep at bay and being so aggressive with trying to be defensive, biting at nearly everything. All of a sudden, it was just a matter of time before Tank threw the right shot because you're just trying to survive. Okay, he was trying to win the fight, but win it without, there wasn't a point in time where he did try to trade the right hand with Tank. But outside of that, it was more so when Tank started getting momentum, it started to be, okay, I got rounds in the bank. Now I got to fight to keep my lead and just not get knocked out more so because I know what's coming. And you saw eventually, Tank baited him into a mistake. Keyshawn can do that same thing, potentially in quicker fashion, if he does indeed go through and fight against Frank Martin. He can lull him to that same trap and put that butt out back. But if Frank fights with a little bit more aggression, utilize his own, trust in his offense, because there's some good offense, and while still being the defensive fighter that we know he is, go through and actually not be so scared of the power that's coming back at him. Yes, it's going to be some more risk, but it's a lot better than you just trying to avoid everything. That can lead to a potential ebb and flow type of fight. That, hey, Frank might be able to pull out an upset in this situation. That would be a good fight. That would be a really good fight to have. I would love to see that fight. Absolutely. Let me see. Hold on. Richard Hitchens versus Gary Antoine. Ooh. Now, see, I'm a little bit skewed. I'm not a big Hitchens fan. Let's be honest. I'm not a big Hitchens fan. I don't like the way that he fights. It's just me. Now, he still is a good fighter. But against Gary Antoine Russell, who at this point in time is, 18-1, 17 KOs. He just had last fight. Yeah, I'm taking Russell by knockout in that fight. Russell has the speed to keep up with Hitchens. Definitely got the combinations to overwhelm Hitchens' defense. And he's got the chin to take whatever Hitchens gives to him. And I don't think Hitchens is a good enough boxer to keep Russell off of him and to be able to outbox with his length. I don't think he's got that. I've said that of the top at 140, whether it's Hitchens, whether it's Matias, Puello, Russell, even with what we saw with Alberto Puello. I've never been high amongst that level of talent. And again, when the likes of Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney were also in that division, I was never high on Hitchens, though I believe he's got a belt to his arsenal of him being a champion. I thought he was one of the most beatable champions at the division. I still think he is, even right now. And if Gary Russell gets a shot at him, I don't think he's gonna be able to beat him. I think he gets knocked out. Again, for me, I think he gets knocked out. Let me see. Duarte versus. Oh, that is tomorrow. Oh, that is tomorrow. I forgot about that. Oh shoot, I completely forgot about that. That completely left my mind. I got Duarte. I got Duarte beating Simmons by unanimous decision. And again, if I'm wrong, please don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. But I got Duarte beating Simmons. Hitchens had problems with Gary Russell and Matias. Hitchens had problems with Gary Antoine and Matias. Making excuses not to fight both. Again, I believe he was. The last fight was against Kambosos. Kambosos, again, with all due respect to being a warrior, isn't that great of a fighter. At least now we know with hindsight. After that win with Teofimo Lopez, how he's gotten beaten by every other quality fighter since then. And obviously Teofimo Lopez had an issue with his chest and all that stuff in that fight. Understand. Fine. But beyond the Kambosos level, I just don't think he can really win against these other killers, specifically Russell. I want Russell to get a shot at the title. If it was going to be against anybody, do it against Hitchens. If Hitchens beats Russell, brother, you've gained my respect. You gained my respect. You gained a level of respect with the way that you beat Kambosos. I'll give you that. Though again, Kambosos, I didn't view him as all that great, but still you beat him in a great way. But if he beats Russell, all right now, hey, I'll throw my hands up and give it what it's worth. Let me see. It's Tom Hikaru gets this shit. He has been not offered an opportunity though. At 140. Ooh. I hear you. I really do. But I think that fight with Russell piques my interest a little bit more. But I also don't want to give it to I don't want somebody who is deserving to not get their opportunity. And so, if it ain't Russell, Hikaru, get in it. Get what you can get. Do what you've earned the right to do. And go chase the brass ring and get a title. I ain't got no problem. But if I was to make a fight, I'm not gonna lie. Hitchens versus Russell. Boxing versus power and speed. That for me kind of piques my interest a little bit more. I can't lie. As a fan, I can't lie. But again, you're not wrong with Hikaru getting the opportunity he deserves. Let me see. Hikaru and Gary going to be on the next preview. They are. Are they fighting against each other? Wait, hold on. Are they fighting against each other? Let me see. Are they fighting against each other? Are they fighting against each other? Or are they just fighting on the same card with each other? Either way, this is going to be a fun fight to see. No question about it. But I would like to see that type of instance. Let me also make sure that I ain't missing nobody else in the chat. Let me see. Aaron, Calvin Forrest energy with another fighter having more confidence and more boxing dedication would be nasty work. Shoot. See, I hear you. But at the same time, how do I say this? Calvin Ford would be great for a lot of people. Also, Del Moore, Casemiro back to training. Okay, good, great, phenomenal, love it. I don't know, I can't remember who he's fighting or who he's fighting for, but I'm glad he's gonna get back in the ring. But going back to Aaron's comment. Calvin Ford will be a good coach for a lot of other people. Like imagine if Calvin Ford was training Ryan Garcia and he was able to keep Ryan Garcia in line and actually force him to adapt. That would be lethal. It would be great. It would be phenomenal. However, the other question is, would Calvin Ford be as effective with any other fighter outside of Tank? Because again, the relationship breeds a big part of it. I don't think he would be able to be nearly as, in terms of creating a game plan and molding a fighter the way that he's been able to. It's tough for me to see anybody else take to what Calvin Ford does as much as Tank. It's like a match made in heaven. It's really difficult to say that Calvin Ford, he would still be great with other people. I just don't think it would be nearly as effective as it is with this fight or with his camaraderie with Tank Davis. It's like a 1-to-1 perfect fit. Though again, Tank has had his drama and faults. Still, it's tough for me to say. And again, we just saw right now if Calvin Ford was training anybody else other than Tank, it's something about that relationship that makes it so that nothing else would be as good as what they make each other turn into. Though Calvin Ford would still elevate a lot of people. He really would. I dare say I don't want to see Calvin Ford leave Tank because Tank ain't the same without her. And I don't know if Calvin Ford will be able to give that same level of connection that helps breed the fighter that we know Tank is to anybody else, because it wouldn't be the same. That it could work. Don't get me wrong, it'll work. I just don't know if it will work as effectively. But this, if it did happen, and I'm wrong, and it didn't work out great, but we're looking at a killer. Whoever the world he trains is a real killer. Absolutely. Let me see. Let me keep on. I'm trying to go back up and down so I can go through the talent. Well, hold on. Let me see this. Tank beat 11 champions: Pedraza, Quella, Gamboa. Gamboa was world champion. Leo was world champion. Mario Barrios was a champion. He was a champ at 140. Hector Garcia. Now, I can't remember if Hector became a champion before Tank or was it after Tank? I cannot remember. Cristobal, Cruz, Rolly Pitbull. Hugo Ruiz was champion. Was Hugo a champion? I don't know. Unless I'm tripping. Like I said, if I'm wrong, this is why I wanted this, so I can have a better painted picture. Maybe I gave Tank a little bit less than I expect. Though I still, off my top of my head, I still think Devin Haney has beaten more. But regardless of which, again, we don't want to harp on the conversation as much as I am trying to get and hit a lot of people. Wow, is 135. Also, do you think Kid Austin beat him? Elvira was at 135. Wait, I thought Elvira was at 140. Unless I'm tripping. I thought Elvira was at 140. Now, if Elvira was at 140, I think that Kid Austin would beat him. Though, underratedly, Elvira was slick, but he was getting caught with a lot of shots from Eastside Cruz. Okay, he's at 140. Okay, thank you. I had to remember because I knew Elvira had moved up to 140. I could not remember if he had moved back down or if he had kept to his word and he's not coming back down from 140. But let me see. Hot take. Oh, wait a minute.
Hey, look at this. We got some problems
Hold
here.
on.
We got some problems here.
Hold on. Hot take. I have Shakur at sea level. Are you sure? Now, wait a minute. I need an answer for this. I do not agree with this at all. Wait a minute. Hold on. Like I said, let me see the argument. I strongly disagree. I fervently disagree, but I do want to hear the argument because I don't know about that. Because we've had people across divisions validate that, yeah, Shakur as a talent, maybe not accolades. Yeah, he's still gaining, but as a talent, but he's one of them ones. And so you say, hear me out. I'm all for it. I'm going to let you speak. I'm going to take your time, type out what your thing is. I want to hear what you got to say. But this is, hey, brother, I'm going to tell you this. If it better be a good doggone argument. Because, brother, I don't know how you can see him as anything less than, at worst, a B-plus fighter. At worst, a B-plus if you're going to rank him low. At best, this cat's A is getting up to A-plus, especially after this performance against Zepeda. I mean, this brother, he's got and showed everything in his arsenal. And he showed us something we didn't even think he had from being able to fight, especially on the inside. We know what he was on the outside. He showed us one of the best performances he's had in his entire career against a cat that we all accepted was a legit force in Zepeda. And with his hands healthy, we said, hey, this cat can be something serious. And he showed us it. Showed us more than what I thought he was going to do against Zepeda. So I'm like, hey, you got some explaining to do. You got some real explaining to do, brother. I'm going to hear you out, but I got to know. I got to know. I got to know about that. Let me see. Let me keep on reading. I don't want to miss nobody in the chat. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Good gosh, we got a whole host of people. My thing's even lagging because we got a whole bunch of people here. How do you think the Japanese fighters get fights since there's no more top rank? Oh shoot, I didn't think about that. Top rank was the premier way to see most of the Japanese greats in the ring. It was. If you wanted to see whether it was Inoue, whether it was Nakatani, whether it was again Taraji was on DAZN this time, but last time, but it was on Top Rank. And with again Diego Higa, Takami, Takeki, you got like 8 brothers that are like dogs in the Japanese division, going from 112 to 126 or 122, excuse me. You got heavy hitters on top of Brian number 135. Brian number 147 against Sasaki. We saw Sasaki on the top rank card. It's been like a whole host. That's a good question. I would think that most, if not all, now transition over to DAZN, unless Top Rank is going under a different umbrella and works with DAZN. Maybe they work with NBC. Hypothetically, they go maybe with how NBC's already gotten the NBA back. But if they can put boxing on NBC, and dare I say make it Peacock and or public television, that would be great. With what we're seeing right now with Netflix and with boxing, again, having bigger events more consistently, while ESPN may be done with it, though stupidly they're done with it because it's building up some traction. Top Rank also wasted time, like with other promoters, in getting fights that we wanted to see on a consistent basis. That's why we had seasons getting everybody under their umbrella right now, because y'all wasted time. You wouldn't be existing if y'all did what you were supposed to do. But beyond that, still, we could see Top Rank go under the Riyadh season umbrella. We could see them work under DAZN. We could see them, again, work with another network. Maybe CBS. Maybe Fox. Top Rank on Fox. Fox used to host events. Now, no major network in America at least, is showing boxing for the first time ever since the 1940s. Do you understand how dire that is? And it's at a point where, and it's at a situation where boxing has been more consistent than ever before. Since the heydays of the past, because there's been multiple, but since 2023, it's been on and popping for boxing consistently. But they wasted so much time. Slowly but surely, PBC fell out of love with Fox. ESPN fell out of love with Top Rank. The Zone made their own platform, so hey, Matchroom's good. Quisenberry, again, working under Matchroom with Sky Sports, they're good. But there's no network for America, which is stupid. You got Amazon Prime, but again, that's a streaming platform. That's not a cable or television entity, per se. It's under another company. Yeah, it hurts. And if you wanted to do it, if they were smart with it, they would piggyback off the backs of what we're seeing with NBC right now and work with NBC so that NBC has both boxing and the NBA under their belt. Now you got yourself a conglomerate, basketball, boxing, and also some games with the NFL, with NFL season starting. Hey, buddy, you can be amidst that hub of year-round sports, and you can be a part of the identity of what NBC is. If you wanted to make a splash, could work. Now, again, I'm not a television guru. Understand? Just shooting off the top of my head what exactly can potentially happen. But it's gonna be it's sad. It's sad. Hopefully, Top Rank finds a home in soon. Because the Japanese division and just what Top Rank has right now, you don't want to miss it. You don't. But right now you might. Because of their own, sadly, because of their own stupidity. And so, let me see. Hey, Deborah, what's good with you? Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Unless this is Justin. I think this is Justin. This is still Justin. Hey, buddy, how you doing? If it's a different person, if it is indeed Deborah, hey, what's going on? Glad to see that you're here. Appreciate you tuning into the show. We are still in the championship rounds. It's only been, good gosh, it's only been 2 hours. It's felt like longer. Great day. We've had a bunch of substance on this show. And so we appreciate it. Let me see. Let me keep on reading. Hold on. Wait a minute. I got Shakur A-, but I don't know if he can beat T.O. or Kiddo. Okay, so we're back to the T.O. situation. There's some concern now with T.O. beating, or with Shakur versus T.O. Hypothetically, at 140, I said that Shakur loses to T.O. at 140. Because that version of T.O. had pop, had crack, and if he's fighting again like Gordo Lopez, that's another situation. But him versus T.O. at 147, with T.O., again, still having all the slickness, not having as much of a pop, that breeds a level of concern. Now, I still think that the boxing of Shakur would give T.O. a whole bunch of trouble, though, again, that the quick sparring that we saw amongst the two of them gave us some real, insight into, wait a minute, T.O. might be able to, as a boxer, hold his own and counter the ability of what Shakur brings to the table. And it's bigger. And it's stronger. And so, but it's still, the dealing with elusive fighters would be something that I'm concerned with when it comes to Teofimo Lopez. I am. But he could handle it. He could. So I get that. I get the trepidation there. But Shakur versus Schofield, I ain't got no question in my mind that Schofield beats Shakur. I ain't got no question in my mind about that. I ain't got no issue that Shakur doesn't handle Schofield. Though, again, the knockout on Tevin Farmer was indeed incredible. But as a boxer, I think Shakur is just too comfortable against the pressure. Even against pressure and power. It has too much as a boxer that Schofield lacks. Especially at this stage. Or again, he's still growing. But at this point in time, I don't think Austin beats I don't think Kid Austin beats Shakur. I don't. I really don't. I'm confident in that. But I'm concerned with T.O. versus Shakur. That's the one I'm concerned about. But let me see. They're still top rank and they have new deals they're about to release. Well, I can't wait to see it. I'm excited for it. Let me see. People like Junto and people like Junto Nakatani and the Monster Inoue fight on Amazon in Japan. They do. I wouldn't be mad at it. Now, if we want exposure, put it on a public platform. If we want exposure, see, the reason why boxing has become so not lucrative is because of the fact that it's so hard to find. Pay-per-view as a model has hurt the identity of the sport. Even when Top Rank was on ESPN, more often than not, it was on ESPN Plus behind a paywall. But if you can make it back into a public entity where it's easily accessible, with how fights are legitimately, they're being great consistently. You can have it. You can create an identity that makes an appetite. You really can. It's just, brother, you got to commit to it by making it easily accessible, behind nothing and with everything. Yes, you want to make money. I understand that. It's still a business, but it's got to be, at this point in time, you cannot afford to make it to a point where the casual fan can't just turn on the TV and see their favorite fighters fight. If you do that more consistently, you'll get a public appetite. Names will be better recognized. People like Abdullah, people like Shakur, people like Schofield, Junto, in a way, those are already getting world acclaim, can be bigger stars. It really can. If you just make it so that it is able to be seen by anybody on any scale without a need to go and pay something extra. I get pay-per-view is going to exist, but everything can't be pay-per-view or behind something. Pay-per-view, if it's going to happen, should be for a Canelo versus Crawford. I'm cool with that. But below that, it's like you're just kicking out you're kicking the door from under you. And everybody can't be consistent with keeping up with the sport if you don't put the sport on a display that is able to be seen by the masses. Go public. Make it regular television. ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, big fights on these types of platforms, like it used to be back in the day, would help the sport out immensely. It really would. It really would. Let me see. Sad that Tekken Dev would never fight, and Devin tried to call him out for years. Yeah. That is true. And I would have loved to see that fight happen. And I hate it. Roach got skills. Ain't nobody gonna watch him easily. They're not. The only thing with Roach was it a fluke with Tank? That's the only concern. Was it a fluke against Tank Davis? Now, I don't think it is. But even still, first fight at 135, you do this. You fight to a draw. Impressive to no win. But even with that being the case, some people may tout it as it was a one-time thing, would never happen. We do want to see consistency. That's why we were so adamant to see that fight happen with Roach. But if it doesn't happen with Roach, we need to see him fight somebody else. Now, who is that other person? Now, he said after Tank, he would fight Brian Norman at 147. Now, that's a big leap. That's a huge leap. It's a monumental leap. Fighting the winner of Devin Haney versus Brian Norman. That's what Lamont Roach said he wants to do. If, again, he beat Tank, or if this fight don't happen. And right now it's looking like that fight might not happen. So that is the jump that he's going to take. Hey, at 135, I don't think he gets washed easily. But at 147, might be a different story. Might be a different story. But again, there's still respect because the brother, nobody just does this to Tank and doesn't have a leg to stand on. So he's got a leg to stand on. I just would like to see another fight just to make sure that, this brother is what we see him now as. concretely. That's my biggest thing. In his last fight with Barboza, he took my fight to another level. It was top notch. Yeah, no, that fight with T.O. against Barboza, yeah, that was impressive. That was impressive. Like I said, Barboza still is not what Shakur is as a fighter, but to handle somebody again who gave Jose Ramirez all he can handle and beat him, and who again is somebody, if there was going to be a struggle at 135 or at 140, excuse me, that fit the bill of what T.O. struggles against, Barboza was it. I still think he has some trouble against movers, but he handled them with the greatest ease. So I completely understand the faith. Mason smokes a lot of them, actually. Hey, I think so too. Now, he's still young. He's still incredibly vulnerable right now. But brother, the jump that he had from when he wasn't a champion to when he was in such a short time, that was impressive. That was so impressive. Abdullah Mason could become the best of the lot at 135 when it's all said and done. In terms of, there's still muddling of who indeed runs the division. You got 4 champions. Keyshawn Davis was at 135, then at 140. So he's out the equation, but you still got Tank, still got Shakur. You still got, again, Abdullah Mason. You got Floyd Schofield. You have even others outside of just that division. You got Welch. You got Murtala. Shoot. And then you got Andy Cruz. You even got potentially moving up quicker than we may realize. Emmanuel Navarrete. Don't forget. But Emmanuel Navarrete has been on a tear. But right now is definitively, in my opinion, the best 130 pounder in the world. He seems, can't nobody beat him. Beat Robinson Conceição. He beat Valdez. Beat Valdez again quicker than the first time. He's been knocking people out left, right, and center. And he's gotten better and better. And has even turned that reckless, unrefined style into actual, there's some defense behind that now. Hey, pretty soon he's moving up to 135 if he hasn't already. I read something that he might have already moved up, but if he hasn't, yeah, it ain't that far away. We got another killer potentially coming up in the very near future. That division, brother, that division is deep. That division is steep. And of the 4 that can reign, Abdullah, Shakur, and Tank, from a skills perspective. Tank ain't fighting nobody, so he's out. Abdullah has got one of the best repertoires in the game at 135, outside of Tank Davis, or outside of Tank and Shakur. With Shakur, I think, having the most skill sets, and with the power to boot, with everything that Shakur brings, he just doesn't have that. Though he's got some good offense, as we now know, as he now showed again against Williams Zepeda. But I think Abdullah Mason, brother, if the stars align and everything plays out correctly, he can go through. He can potentially be that guy. He can potentially be that guy. If it ain't Shakur, it's Abdullah. If it ain't Shakur, it's Abdullah. And pretty soon we can see, if they both stay in the division, we can see the both of them cross paths with each other sooner rather than later. And that's going to be a good fight to have. That's going to be a really good fight to see. Mark my words. Let me see. You're absolutely right. But Shakur doesn't move his head off the line when punching. He is super bladed, so even when he tries to put all his weight into punches, sometimes he becomes off balance and can't throw a legitimate power shot. Doesn't really guard change either the body ups, or either he bodies up with high guard and does some goofy stuff with the Philly shell. So I think we're missing. I see what you're saying, but I think you're missing variety with effectiveness. We've had this conversation about defense before. Show defense versus effective defense. Boots had show defense for years, up until he actually got good defense against Stanionis. Jerry Anderson had show defense all up until he fought against Martin Bucoli. And then it showed, okay, he wasn't really that great of a defensive fighter. And all that flash and stuff that he would show that looked good wasn't really good. What Shakur's defense is predicated on is not head movement, but distance. It's distance catching and understanding I don't need to move a lot to get out the way. That's the beauty in Shakur's defense. He might not do all of the slick, exaggerated, oh gosh, Andy Cruz does that at times. David Morrell has that type of defense where it's like, it's slick. You see he's here, there, and everywhere. But it is the footwork and understanding distance down to a millimeter that he doesn't need to do a whole bunch. Floyd Mayweather did that similar thing. Floyd didn't need to do a whole lot to get out the way. James Toney did not need to do a whole bunch to get out the way of shots. He would be here and here. Sure, yeah, he would duck down fully and let punches hit him on the back or hit him on the shoulder. Yes, but then he'd be right back up here. And then subtle movements, distance, throw the jab. Right in. Now, again, James Toney was way more offensive. Again, is a better fighter than Shakur Stevenson. He is. As a great fighter, he's one of the, as a talent, this brother was incredible. James Toney was incredible. One of the best counter punchers we've seen in boxing. One of the best defensive fighters we've seen in boxing. And his offense was what's the word? It had a lot of variety, and it was a lot more willing, but still sound defensively. And it was incredible. But Shakur has those same types of qualities. It's not going to be a lot of movement here and here. He'll keep his head on the center line, yeah, but it's because he understands you can only reach me up to a point. I can stay right here because you can't, because once I lean back just a tad, brother, that's your reach. And you can't touch me. I don't need to go left and right because I can go forward and back because I get depth perception that greatly. When he doesn't move that way, he can't. He can also, again, as we now know, fight you straight up and be perfectly fine in the pocket, on the ropes. Notice he wasn't doing a bunch of left-right leans. It was catch, shoulder roll, lean back, straight right, or excuse me, straight left. Straight left. Catch again, catch roll, catch parry, and then going through uppercut. Maybe another uppercut, maybe a flurry of combinations. And then back to the ropes. Catch, slightly slip, catch, lean back on the ropes. Everything he's right there, but he's also not there at all. But he is able to keep himself out of harm's way because his head movement is not like other people's head movement. His head movement is keeping himself back because he understands where you can and can't hit him. So him being on the center line is not like other people being on the center line. He's in front of you. But the difference is he knows where the line of demarcation is. It's like Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry with Tom the cat with that pit bull. Or bulldog, excuse me. But he drew a line in the dirt and would walk up to the dog, but it hit him with a bat or a chair or whatever the word he's gonna be. Knock that butt upside the head. Pit bull come or bulldog come running. And Tom knew right where to stand. Because you ain't gonna be able to get him. He will literally be right in front of him, lean over the line, smack him, and then just lean right back. And the dog couldn't do nothing because he knows where the rope ends for the bulldog to be able to bite him. And because he knew that line, he could do whatever he wanted because he knew you couldn't touch him once I get back here. That's what Shakur understands. That's how he fights. And again, he can throw some leather. He showed against Cepeda he can square up. And again, he's knocked out Yoshino. He's bloodied up Oscar Valdez. He's done great work against Jamal Herring when he was piecing up Hartunian. He just didn't end the show. He's shown he's got offense and good pop in the past, and he got good pop now. It ain't knockout pop, but it's good pop, and he knows how to throw. He can. It's just he's more conducive operating off of, like you said, that bladed stance. So the power doesn't always become apparent because, again, that's not his forte. But he can get to it, absolutely. But I see exactly where he's coming from. Let me see. Let me keep on reading what you all have to say. Hold on. I missed somebody. Somebody said something. What was it? Hold on. 135 got killers. Yes, he does. He needs to work on his footwork. Now, I don't think he needs to work on his footwork. I think his footwork is some of the best in the game. For me, I think his footwork is some of the best in the game. I mean, the Kid Austin against the rest is a toss-up, but Kerr whoops them all, score over all of them. Again, outside of Tank Davis, which would be incredibly close, and I still think Shakur would beat him now. It's hard for me to say that Shakur at this point in time doesn't beat most of the people at 135. The only other one that I'm really concerned about later on down the line would be Abdullah Mason. Later on. Now, yeah, Shakur beats him, but later on, Abdullah can be something that Abdullah can really be a dangerous fighter for Shakur to fight. That's the buddy I'm really concerned about later on down the line. Let me see. Okay, now. Okay. See, no, I ain't clapping for that. Hold on. No. See, I was cool with all the other stuff. Tank being a B-level fighter, I'm cool. You can make an argument for it. Okay, we can talk about that, hypothetically. Though I don't agree, we can talk about that. Shakur being a C-level, even worse of a Tank. But you know what? I was able to hear you out. I'm not hearing you out on this, brother. No. We ain't doing that. In a way, one of the few. We ain't done that. Nah. B-level is a spit in the face. This brother is an A-plus fighter. Usyk, in a way, Crawford, they A-plus. They absolutely A-plus. That's not negotiable. In a way, as a talent amongst anybody. But he's something different. He's something to behold. Oh my gosh. Oh, you about to get me hot. No. I ain't gonna let you get me mad. But no, anyway, if there was ever a fighter that I would ever call A+ out of everybody in boxing, it's Inoue. If there was ever anybody out of A+, it would be Inoue. But he would be. I've called this brother the closest thing to a perfect fighter I've witnessed in the modern day in boxing. This cat is the other side of the coin to Roy Jones Jr. You can go look at that. And I put out we had a whole video, a whole show on that. Had a whole short on that too. You can go look that up. I've been saying that Inoue is such a great dog that he outclasses if you put him against anybody pound for pound, and you were able to weigh him up to that weight class and put him in a body that was fitting of that weight class, and he fought him, he beats everybody. He beats them all. I've said that countless times. You scale him up to fight against any other fighter in the world today, he beats them all. That's and again, I'm high on Inoue. It ain't just because I'm a fan, but I know what I'm seeing. This cat, that B+ or B. Not even a B? Like that sacrilege. Oh gosh. Absolute. Sacrilege. Blasphemy. How dare. How dare we have that type of conversation in regards to one of the best that we've seen of all time? Yeah, no, he's at that level. He is an all-time fighter. Even right now. He's an all-time fighter, absolutely. My gosh. Oh, Lord. Oh, I done got hot. See, that one got me. That one got me. I will capitulate. That one got me going. That one got me going. I'm sorry. That one got me going. There's a lot of things are negotiable. That ain't one of them. That showing up ain't one of them. Who in the way is as a fighter? Oh Lord. Oh shoot. Oh Lord. Oh gosh. Ooh. But I will say, I do understand what you're saying about the bladed stance and all that stuff. I don't see it as a negative for Shakur because of what he is as a fighter. It fits him perfectly. His movement is not like the other movement that you would want to teach. Lateral, side to side. He's more so back and front, but it's because of what he sees in the ring as to why it's able to work and why ain't nobody really been able to do anything with him. You would think, somebody's going to catch him. They don't. And again, he is right there. It's similar to what we've seen with Floyd Mayweather. And so, let me keep on reading. But Cora won't stay in the pocket. Yeah, he won't. You right, he won't. And I'm not going to lie. He could. He really could. Now that his hands are healthy, he can. And I hate but I do hope that he doesn't go so far away from it. And he still is able to implement staying in the pocket, fighting like that at times throughout the fight. Not as the main game plan. Because again, that's not him. But if he can add that to his game, now that we know, he can be really effective with it. It would make him such an even more dangerous fighter. It would make him such a because then he could fight you where you would want him to be, and then be able to also fight off the back foot. And if he wins both of those instances, well, hey, he's good. If he loses one of those instances, well, he's got another thing that he can delve into. It would be great. I would love it if he fought like that, and I would love it if he didn't completely negate fighting like he did against Zepeda. Implement it as a part of your style, though not the main part of your style. And I think it makes you an even more marketable, exciting fighter and a harder fighter to beat. Because you can definitely handle it, at least in my estimation. Let me see. Where is Keyshawn? He needs that cruise work. I don't know. After the whole debacle with what happened with Albright and jumping his brother, he's probably keeping a low profile right now. He's probably keeping a low profile. Probably. And I still want to see him back. The best way to get people to forget, though, again, what he did was absolutely wrong. Best way to get people to forget what happened, get in the ring and beat somebody. And right now, end of the year, I would not have a problem with him getting in the ring right now. But it might just be keeping a low profile at this point in time. And so, but let me keep on reading. Frank Martin was too green. He was limited to me and has no identity. I think Frank Martin has an identity. He's just not a great fighter, but he is a good fighter. But his identity is I'm slick and I got some pop. Because again, he get the outside of the fight with Tank, other most notable fight was against Howard Jr. when he needed to dig deep and get a knockdown, overwhelmed. He's got some good crack to him. And he's really good when it comes to being able to be defensive. He was just too defensive. But if he can blend that a little bit more, balance that out a little bit better, he can be a better well-rounded fighter. Seemingly, per what we see with social media, he's potentially gotten that blend together. We're going to have to wait and see. But I don't think he lacks an identity. I think it's just he just went too far. He still was going to lose against Tank, regardless. But he went too far in one direction. He balances that balance. He balances out offense and being secure defensively more. Now he can become a little bit more dangerous because he legitimately is a strong brother. He is. If he leans into that just a little bit, that can help him out a lot. Floyd is a much better guard than anyone we've ever seen in boxing. You're right. Floyd's probably the best defensive fighter outside of, again, James Toney, outside of Pernell Whitaker, who was great. Was gone too soon, but brother, he was something serious. And Napoleon Loche, who was another user for the show. I forget who invented it. He was also a great defensive player as well. But as the best three I've seen, or best four, Floyd, Whitaker, Tony, and Napoleon Loche. Way back in the day. What was it, 126 and like 10? Ridiculous. Excuse me. Absolutely ridiculous. 126. What was it, 126, 123 and 10? Something along those lines of a record. Smoking cigarettes and all, but fighting like every other week. Preposterous. And this cat was making people miss. Left, right, and center. If you haven't seen him, go look him up. Incredible, absolutely incredible defensively. But let me see. Teddy Berkshire, hey brother, what's going on with you? How you doing? Thanks for tuning into the show. Again, it is the championship rounds. We love to hear from you. If you haven't already, leave a like on the stream. Keep on sharing the show. Keep on commenting what you like about it. Keep on commenting your thoughts and opinions. It's still the championship rounds. You all drive the conversation, and you all still drive what this show is going to be about. But let me keep on reading. Came to talk before I finish. Before I finish up. What's up, Jean-Luc? We happy that you're here. We happy that you're here. Well, I want to hear what you got to say on the matter. Let me see. I'm debating Shakur being a C-plus fighter. Yes, he is. I starkly disagree. But he brought up the lateral movement or lack thereof of Shakur Stevenson and the bladed stance not allowing him to have the real pop that you would want from a fighter. Holds him back from being, again, a B or above. Now, full disclaimer, Ryan's standard is very strict. It's very strict. He has in a way as a B fighter, which again I'm still blown away. But again, right now we're debating Shakur, and Shakur being a C+ fighter or above. I think he's an A- fighter. I definitely do, and I don't think he lacks lateral movement. I think his movement is back and forth because of understanding distance, as I talked about for years. But I want to hear from you all, whether you agree or disagree with the whole situation. Let me see. Hold on. Dillian White, delusion. Ooh, yeah, I forgot. Dillian White fighting Moses Atalma. I think it's this month. David George told him, hey, buddy, why are you taking this fight? Dillian White's like, hey, buddy, I want test. He does. It's a great test for Moses Atalma, and it still is a dangerous thing. But Dillian, hey, I really don't know if you know what you're getting yourself into. Not clap. Danger is afoot. But I don't know. I don't really think you know what you're getting into when you're getting in the ring with Moses Atalma. It can be dangerous. Moses better be on his P's and Q's, no question. But hey, Dillian, at this age, with how you've already struggled with, again, movement, like against Fury and others, now you got Moses Atalma who got movement and some real pop. It can get scary. And if Atalma wins this, okay, he's the real deal. It's time to start getting ready for elite contenders and titleists. And let me keep on reading what you all got to say. Canelo, let me see. Peace, you out. Hey, we thank you for coming through. Thank you for lasting this long. So glad that you came with us on today, Eric. Peace and love. We're going to see you next week, absolutely. But we're going to keep on talking for a little bit longer on this show. We appreciate you coming out and supporting. Hopefully you had a great time. And if you haven't already, leave a like on the stream before you get out of here. But let me keep on reading the last couple chats of this show. Who you got, Canelo or Crawford? I got Crawford by unanimous decision right now. But it's going to be close. But like I've said, be prepared. By the middle of the month, I might just change my pick. By the middle of the month, I might just change my pick. And I might just be picking Crawford. Be prepared. Be prepared. As of right now, I have Canelo by decision. But be prepared by the middle of this month. Because the more I'm looking at this thing, brother, it's getting sketchy. It's getting sticky up in here when it comes to making a decision for this fight. I might just have to change my pick. I might just have to change my pick. It's going to be a dangerous road, boy. It's going to be a very dangerous road. But let me see. Wait a minute. Hold on. Great date. We have been talking through. I've been missing. There's so many people chatting. Good gosh. I love it. It's great. But let me see. Young Guns. Hey, brother. What's good with you? How you doing? Thanks for tuning into the show. So glad you're here. Appreciate you. If I ain't shot you out before, I'm shot you out now. Glad that you came in on the show. Hopefully you leave a like on the stream. Let me see what you guys say. If Devin and Shakur are C-level fighters, you're basically calling the sport of boxing trash. Oh, in reference to Ryan. So, I want to know, what is a A-level fighter? Or we'll start with A+. Give me an A+, an A fighter, and A- fighter. So we understand what the hierarchy of this rating system is, because it's incredibly strict. If Inoue's a B and Crawford's a C+, but who the world is an A? Like who's an A- even? Because this is I'm interested. I only got 3 fighters at A level right now. Let me see if you put them in. You might have put them in the chat already. Let me look through and see who it is, if we can see it. Okay, so you got Tank, Canelo, Benavidez, Iglesias, Inoue, Nakatani, and B. Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. Tank, Canelo, Benavidez, Iglesias, Inoue, Nakatani. And to more so streamline it for the big headline names. Tank, Canelo, Benavidez, Inoue, Nakatani. That's B. All right. So if that's B, let me see who the world is A. Who let me see. Let me scroll down right now. Let me see. And the consensus was Crawford didn't fight nobody before Spence. How was he pound for pound? Well, see, that was a little bit different. Crawford had fought a bunch of people before Spence, but people just didn't want to give him credit for it. He fought Amir Khan, he fought Kell Brook, he fought Sean Porter, he fought Calavasquez, he fought Postal, he fought Ricky Burns, he fought a prime Gamboa, though again he was 3 years out the ring. It was still a Gamboa that was still viewed as a dangerous brother. He fought many names before he fought Spence. But he didn't get the same respect. He didn't. He fought some of the same names that Canelo fought. But still he didn't get the same respect. So again, we've already put this critique to bed a couple of weeks ago in terms of talking about the conversation. But let me keep on reading. I'm trying to see who is your A+ fighter. Let me see. Let me get to a point. Let me find it. Hold on. Moses better keep his hands up. Yes, he should, because Dillian White can still crack, but I think Moses is going to be able to handle him potentially relatively easily. Let me see. I'm trying to find it. Bivol, Inoue, Bud, Usyk, all those guys are A level. Yeah, in my estimation, they are. Junto and Bam, I do agree as well. Let me see. All right, so here we go. Terrence, Bam, Usyk are A level. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. We have an answer. We got an answer. So for Ryan, Crawford, Bam, and Usyk, they're A level. Inoue, Canelo, Bud, Benavidez, B level. And Shakur and a couple others around that C+ level. Now, how do we say this? Bam A, I ain't got no problem. Usyk A, I ain't got no problem. Crawford A, I ain't got a problem. But at the same time, though I know that there can only be you don't want everybody in the same level, I don't think that you can't have room for maybe one more, at least in a way, who's in that top, who is from, again, while the pound list is subjective, and it's your list, I'm not trying to make it change, but with the consensus of Inoue being pound for pound number 1, 2, or 3 for the past 4 years, would that not constitute him also being an A-level fighter? If even Gervonta Davis, who don't give credit to nobody, also says that Inoue is one of them ones in the boxing world. Like, I ain't heard a soul disrespect Inoue. I ain't heard nobody that normally says somebody, the people that should be saying that Inoue ain't on that level, ain't saying that Inoue ain't on that level. I'm a little bit confused. Because Inoue, 2-time undisputed, cleaned out 1 through 5 in 4 different divisions, beat everybody in their prime, or at least when they were still great. Like Anita Donaire, when he had his second run and was looking like a killer, beat him, and then beat him again definitively the second time by KOing him. Beat Cardenas, who again, who may have been unknown for a lot of people, had fought at 130 before coming down to 122, and since coming down to 122 definitively, had knocked out every single brother he's been against, and was rapidly under the radar, becoming a real threat. Even now, brother, Cardenas can give a good couple people at 122 some damage. And Inoue stops him. On top of facing every challenge without reproach, defending his titles and dominating. It seems counterintuitive that he's following the same footsteps as Usyk, as a Crawford, and even as a Bam, and has been doing it, one, on a more robust scale, in a dominant level that has been insane. I don't see how he couldn't be up there as an A fighter. Even as with going by your metrics, even at minimum as a B+ fighter. If you only got 3, okay, fine. Even as a B+, I don't know how you couldn't put him up there. Like, I'm legitimately confounded. This is incredibly interesting, but let me see. If our pound list aren't A fighters, you just gotta have some criteria. Like I said, pound for pound, I'm not issue with pound for pound, and if your list is different, I ain't got no issue with it. Criteria is what it is. Everybody's got their own subjective view. Now, I may not agree with it all. Understand it. But I'm not gonna just, you don't know what you're talking about. You can defend it, I want to hear it. But at the same time, I'm trying to follow the thought process as to what. But let me see. Most champs and contenders are C-level. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Because Virgil Ortiz, somebody brought it to Virgil Ortiz might not be as great as we may have been talking about it because he still doesn't have a title. Okay, fine. But still, as a contender, he is still amongst the 3 to 5 best at 154. You'd be hard pressed to say that Virgil couldn't beat and wouldn't beat Sebastian Fundora, that he wouldn't beat the likes of a Majimov, a Tim Tszyu, though we know now Tim Tszyu is out there, Bakram Murtazali, who is still a killer, Murtazali, but even still the cats hard pressed to not pick Virgil over him. Bochuk, they had a close fight that people feel Bochuk got robbed of in their decision, so that's understandable. But even still, amongst all of them, it's tough to say, like, I don't think contenders, I don't know about this thing. I don't know. I don't know. In terms of C, most champs are like C, at least to me. Now, because there's a lot of belts, yeah, sure. But I don't think that applies to as wide of a sweeping scope. Because again, 135, you got 4 belt holders, but all of them are good. 126, Espinosa Lee, Angelo Lee, Nick Ball, and Stephen Fulton. They ain't C+, especially Espinosa and Nick Ball. And what we see with Stephen Fulton evolving into now. So it's like that. So, Angelo Lee, you can at least put him at a B. At least, again, if we're going by the criteria. Let me see, Ball has beat 2 sitting undisputed champs. And Canelo and Beterbiev, yeah, he has. He beat Beterbiev when Beterbiev looked unbeatable. He rematched him and fought Beterbiev volume for volume and still didn't get knocked out fighting Artur Beterbiev twice, which is ludicrous. That's the equivalent of Canelo fighting against Gennady Golovkin and not getting knocked out, fighting him 3 times, and winning. Like, it's hard. And he beat Zurdo. I forgot. We found out yesterday he beat Zurdo Ramirez, which I didn't know. Who right now is arguably the best cruiserweight in the world. Only rival is Jai Patai. And so I'm like, I don't know. And you said B-Ball is B, and Loma if he didn't retire, Virgil's B and Boots is B. Wait, so Virgil is B, Boots is B. Virgil's B, Boots is so Virgil, Boots Ennis, Canelo Crawford, Virgil, Boots, Canelo, Inoue, and Junto Benavidez. That is a very big list to be. Fundora, Tim Tszyu, now, yes, C level. Murtaza B minus. Fundora, elevated to B minus for me. Because again, what he did to Tim Tszyu and now how he's handled himself since beating Tim Tszyu, all of a sudden it's starting to look more and more like a scary prospect of a champion. I'm not saying he still got his faults, but he has improved and has elevated up to a new level of fighter, at least in my opinion. Beterbiev, wow, okay, all right, okay. That, I don't know about that. We were saying Artur Beterbiev, again, mind you, we're saying Artur Beterbiev would knock out Canelo if he fought against him. And he already beat Bivol injured the first time. Don't forget that. The first win that he got was recovering from a meniscus tear. With a brother that comes forward. And he still beat Bivol, walking him down. You don't think Beterbiev can beat Canelo at all? Wow. See, I beg to differ. I've been saying Canelo, if Canelo, and what we saw Bivol do to Canelo would pale in comparison to what we would see Artur Beterbiev do to the likes of Canelo. Because see, Canelo won at 175, is slower, doesn't have as much of a gas tank, and is already diminished at 175 as a fighter as a whole. He can't make the weight and be the same fighter no more. We completely understand it. And Bivol was able to overwhelm him with voluminous but smart offense. And nothing that Canelo threw was able to affect him and deter him from keeping that bigger fighter pressure that Bivol was able to hold on. Beterbiev will kill Canelo Alvarez. Because it's gonna be a similar situation. Canelo's not gonna be able to walk forward. Canelo's gonna be forced on the back foot. Canelo would have to fight off the ropes like he did against Bivol and look to counter Artur Beterbiev. The only difference is Canelo's power will have no effect, none, on Artur Beterbiev. And he will get punished on the ropes, especially once Artur feels the power and is like, I've felt worse. I fought Anthony Yard. I fought worse. I fought Callum Smith. I fought worse. Let's go. And he goes through and then punishes Canelo on it. The same thing that Canelo does to all of his opponents, Artur Beterbiev will do against Canelo and make it so that Canelo can't keep up his arms. Because he literally fights. The closest thing that we got to a Rocky Marciano type fighter is Artur Beterbiev, both in build and in like fighting style. But simplistic destruction is what Artur Beterbiev is as a fighter. This and this. All of a sudden, you're bleeding. One jab, you're up. A waning shot to the body, all of a sudden, you lost your breath. You do that for 12 rounds and you can't hurt him. And you also can't match him in power. And with Canelo, he ain't got the gas tank to go 12 rounds with volume either, which Bivol had to uptick his own volume to get a slim decision against Beterbiev. Canelo was outpunched and outlanded by Bivol. And Bivol ain't nowhere close to the physically imposing threat and Bivol ain't nowhere close to the physically imposing threat that Beterbiev is. I don't see that. There's a reason why Canelo went quiet when Beterbiev got the title. And Canelo had been saying, I want my get back against Bivol to show I'm the best in the world. Or I'm the best at 175. Mind you, Bivol wanted to come down to 168. I gave you a shot at my belt. Let me get a shot at yours. And Canelo said, nah, I want to come back up there and get my revenge. So, fight didn't happen in a rematch. Canelo was still saying, oh, I want to get back up to 175, and I still want to fight Bivol. And I still want my titles. He was saying it. Then goes through, Beterbiev beats Bivol. Dead silence. Canelo stopped saying he wanted to move up. All of a sudden, you ain't hear nothing about Canelo fighting at 175 no more. You ain't hear nothing about that. That robbery he was having, even amongst fighting the other 5 people. He was still saying this when he was fighting Ryan Garcia. He was still saying this as a mentality fighting Munguia, leading into the Berlanga fight. When Beterbiev beat him, crickets. Crickets from Canelo. And it's for good reason. Canelo can't beat that. Canelo can't beat it. I strongly believe Canelo can't beat it. Beterbiev didn't win the first fight to me, but I won't argue with the judge's decision. Like, again, it was a close fight. Don't get me wrong. I felt that he won. It's still disputed. Again, this is why that trilogy is so great, because it was a close competitive affair, both instances. I feel that Bivol won the second one, and I feel that Beterbiev won the first one. Yes, he did. And so this third fight, brother, hopefully it gets made soon, because the age of Beterbiev is still a concern, with him being 41 years old. Arizona Lara being the oldest champion at 42, still going strong. But still, if you wanted this fight at their best, it needs to happen now. Archie Beterbiev is even saying, hey, brother, when this fight going to happen? He's ready. I don't know what the holdup is in terms of Beterbiev talking. But me, I don't know what the holdup is either. But if this fight wanes out, I'm scared that Beterbiev won't be the same brother no more, because ultimately age might just get to him. If the bottom can fall out at any point in time for any given reason, just like with Pacquiao. He was great until he wasn't, when the bottom fell out with his legs when he fought against Ugas. Now he came back and showed, okay, he still got something in the tank, but at that point in time, he was done. Beterbiev has been able to withstand the sands of time for oh so long. Has beaten other great prime fighters ruling this division. Now his only competitive rival is Bivol, with Beterbiev, with Benavidez, stamping himself as, hey brother, I'm coming up too. Y'all better watch out. Because there's an argument that he's the third, that Beterbiev is the third, that Benavidez is the third best light heavyweight in the world under Bivol and Beterbiev. It's the battle of the bees. It's Triple B mania. Triple B's on deck. And I ain't talking about big baller bread. I ain't talking about big baller bread. It's a dangerous triangle of destruction. Volume, power, and then technical efficiency. That's what it is. Volume in Benavidez. Technical superiority in Bivol. Simplistic destruction in Beterbiev. It's a perfect blend of a cavalcade of fights that would all be incredible. A perfect circle of pain, per se, for what can happen when they all three get in the ring with each other at some point in time. So hey, I'm telling you, I need that fight to happen now, because Beterbiev, I don't know how much time he's got. I don't know how long he can last this long before ultimately he succumbs just to age. Though I think his body is ridiculous. It's insane. He's able to be what he is at this age, but even still, time waits for no man. Time waits for no man. Let me see. Benavidez would beat Beterbiev to me. Yeah, I think we're just mirror images of each other. Because brother, I'm the complete opposite. I'm the complete opposite. I think we're just mirror images of what each as a boxing fan. I have been adamant that it would be tough for Benavidez to beat either Bivol or Beterbiev. But Benavidez would have a better time beating Bivol than beating Beterbiev. Because the volume, especially without the power, would be put in some serious danger going up against the power of Artur Beterbiev with the way that he goes about his offense is a great counter against Benavidez. Again, the simple stuff goes through and it does big damage. The same way Benavidez has been able to break down opponents is the same thing Beterbiev has been able to do to everybody else. The only difference is Benavidez is now on the other end of that spectrum without the power to go through and just bludgeon and destroy. And Beterbiev being a tank, Beterbiev can be the one to give Benavidez the bludgeoning treatment. And with all the throws that Benavidez does, he incurs more damage than he gives out. And now, all of a sudden, if it gets too bad, he's got to fight going backwards. And against a tank like Beterbiev, now he's walking you down. And that's a situation we ain't seen Benavidez in often. And it's like, he's still a great fighter. But I see that working better than the technical ability of Bivol going up against Benavidez. One, because Bivol and Benavidez have sparred before. And Bivol, at that age, was like, hey, brother, this cat's something serious. He's going to be something great. And with the better fighter that Benavidez has become since coming out to 175, all of a sudden I see more that he's able to do against Bivol, along with the length and height advantage. He's got the hand speed. He's got the ability to walk down Bivol in a similar fashion like Beterbiev did, but also be defensively sound in a way that he wasn't before. And be able to out-volume even the most voluminous fighter, or even the extreme version of a volume fighter in Bivol, who had to get to that level to fight against Beterbiev. But because Bivol also doesn't have the same clipping power, though he would have the ability to counter, we might see Bivol be put in a similar situation to Artur Beterbiev in the first fight, but at an even more voluminous approach. And because Benavidez might not have to worry about the pop like he's had to worry about with Morrell or potentially even a Gvozdyk, it can be, hey, a little bit of a callback to the weight class at 168. And that can be that can spell a better opportunity for him to take on, of the two behemoths, who he's able to beat, at least in my opinion. And so, but it's good. It's good. And so it'll be great. But Benavidez is defensively responsible though. Beterbiev is not at all. Well, see, not really. Beterbiev is more so catch. Like he'll walk down, catch, slight slip, boom, boom. Again, simple. Everything about Beterbiev is simple. It's simple. Now, he cuts easy. Yes, he does. But it doesn't necessarily mean he's taking a whole bunch of damage. Yes, he got a great chin, but it's not, every time he gets cut, it's not always because he's taking a bunch of damage. Yes, Anthony Yard, that was a lot of damage. But a lot of times, his face looks worse than the actual offense that's landed on him. And his defense is really good. It's not just cutting off the ring. He's able to cut off the ring and block a lot of stuff. He's really good at catching a lot of shots, though it doesn't seem all that impressive because it's just slight stuff. Slight here, walking down, walking forward, might move his head somewhat sometimes, cut you off, walk you down, keeping that square stance, block, come inside, block, and then boom, 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 boom. Boom, flurry to the body. Boom, jab as you're circling the ring, jab again, Might take a shot, sure, keep on running, block the next one, block the third one, jab again, jab right hand again, going through, and now he's really starting to uptick. Now, boom, boom, boom. Lunging jab, right hand, straight right to the body, hook to the body. Boom. Now I'm really walking forward. Now I'm closing the distance even more. Boom. Hook to the head. Boom. Right hand. 1, 2. Coming through. Block. Come on the inside. In the clinch. Now we're moving. Now I'm walking you back to the ropes to a new position. You escape. Boom, 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 boom. Going through. That's how he fights. Like it's nothing. It's not a fighting style that stands out. But it's a fighting style that relies on him, again, keeping everything. The quickest way to point A to point B is a straight line. He just doesn't do all the special stuff that we see Bebo do. Bebo, slick, again, and Benavidez. Slick can change different types of guards, high guard, cross guard, can shoot the jab with your angle out, all that stuff. Change direction, very, very good. Can block and slip, very much, make you look silly. Ultimately, he'll be effective. He doesn't make you look silly. He just makes you look beat up. Because his whole thing is, it's more so, it's predicated on destruction. But it is still responsive. And so, but it's just not as flashy as the other. Again, and I did a breakdown on this in lieu of the first and second fight with Beterbiev and Bebo. I had a whole show dedicated to it. It was good. If you want to check it out, I think it was a pretty good breakdown. Probably just on myself, but and so it's pretty decent. And I'm not saying this, and so Beterbiev does not keep his head off the line. Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't, because again, it's predicated on block and parry. It's somewhat Isaac Cruz, though not as good, but in terms of one direction type of fighter. Isaac Cruz coming in, block, cover up, boom, walking in. And I got a good enough chin that you just can't hurt me. But walking in, but it is a phenomenal high guard. Though he don't move. And he showed he did against in his last fight. Hey, Isaac Cruz, he did some stuff. You saw him slip a little bit. You saw a little bit of that peekaboo come out. And I was like, wait a minute. If we can add that more often, brother. Hey. We got some problems there. We see Isaac Cruz move his head behind that high guard, with him being just a little rock. Hey, brother, we got something good. we got something good coming on right now. That'll be great. And so, but last thing, I don't get lost as much in the normal stuff in boxing, fighting off the center line, keeping your head off of the main line of sight, and the fundamental things about boxing. All of them need to be there. The understanding is, because somebody is great enough, they understand sports so that they can break the rules and still be effective. Roy Jones did it immensely. Again, he doesn't have to move off the center line because he understands blocking very well. Shakur Stevenson understands distance, so he doesn't have to move in the same way that you would fundamentally want to teach boxers how to do. And I'm not saying the way you view it ain't wrong. No, it's right. It's just we're talking about fighters that they can break these types of rules because of who they are, and that's something special. And hence why they might not do everything right, but it's still right for them because they understand the sport at a level that others don't, which makes them be able to do things that other people can't. They can get away with stuff because they understand what they're doing. And they understand how to mitigate that risk because they're a special type of fighter. And so that's why you see people do stuff that you ain't doing the fundamental stuff. You right. Because they understand the fundamentals to the point they don't have to. Boots. I've been getting on him about fundamental stuff, but he didn't have to do it because he was that great of a fighter. Now, he started to bleed into it even more. It's gotten even better. But even still, great fighter can do great things and break rules that other people just can't break. Hence why you see them be able to do what they do. And so that's the best thing I can say. But I think We might just have to get out of here. Let me see. I gotta catch you. I'll try to catch another live. Hey, brother, thanks for tuning in. We're gonna be back on Tuesday, covering the world of more sports, more boxing, whether it's NFL season coming up, NBA season starting, starting to recoup a level of excitement with Summer League and all that stuff. Hornets won the Summer League. Hey. Hornets won something. First title in their franchise history. Ain't it great? But everything, the sports world is getting closer and closer to start to become a melting pot of just action all around. We're going to be able to talk about it. We're going to, of course, talk about more boxing on Tuesday afternoon. Same time, 12:30, we're going to be here. But this is still the championship rounds. Does anybody else have anything they want to say? Anybody else have any other questions they want to discuss? Any other comments that they want to put on display for the time being? Again, we talked about people's A, B, or C level fighter. Again, Ryan Graves gave some great arguments. I strongly disagree. Again, I think Crawford, Bam, Usyk, Inoue, Junto, and Bivol, and Beterbiev, all are A-type fighters. Absolutely. And you got B plus, B, and all that stuff. We can definitely make a list. But if y'all want to make a list, we can make a list. No question about it. We can run however long y'all want to do. I'm just trying to get my stuff up, and we want to still get the likes out for people that want to join the show. This is still some great conversation. But if there's anything else you all want to discuss and talk about, we can talk about it right here. I'll go back through the other chats and make sure I ain't miss nobody with their discussions in terms of the world of boxing and or beyond. Let me see. 90s and 2000s was A level. Yeah. 90s, early 2000s was for the whole of boxing kind of the last big hoorah for multiple divisions having a sense of quality talent. Maybe, as the 2000s went on, maybe not necessarily 2000s per se, because kind of, by the time kind of dwindled out just a little. But the rest of them, 90s and the early 2000s, they were popping. They were popping in boxing. That was a quality era in boxing, no question about it. But I'm just going back through the other chats to see if there's anything else I missed on this show. Let me see. I roll with Haney, but Pernell and Sugar Shane. Eat My Boy Alive. I'm a boxing fan first. And 50. You 53. Oh shoot! But I can't believe I didn't catch it. So we got people that have been through the ringer, talking about watching this boxing game for a hot minute. And so we're talking about people that have seen some of these people live. Mind you, I grew up. When I grew up, there was I'm what I can't even remember how old I am, but the consciousness, 2000s and beyond, when I knew what was going on. And so that wasn't my era that I was in boxing. But I went back and studied to learn about how great these people were. And they were phenomenal. They were stupendous. We're talking about people that have lived through this. And Pernell, again, I hate that brother died so young. Dang it. You know how frustrated I am that Sally Whitaker passed away. Imagine what he could have taught to Shakur or Devin Haney or shoot a plethora of fighters in today's era that take a defensive approach. It would be incredible. Dang it, I hate that he's gone. I really do. That sucks. That really hurts my heart. That really does hurt. But I'm just going back. I'm just not trying to waste time. He's trying to go through and look and see what's going on. Oh, shoot, we had people, I've missed people that joined the chat. Like Max Villman. Hey, brother, what's going on with you? For some reason, I can't click on your chat. I think it only goes up to a certain point that I can really scroll back up to click on the stuff. But Max Villman, how you doing? Appreciate you coming into the show. So glad that you're here with us on today. Thanks for tuning into the show. Let me see. We talked. Somebody brought up. You're right. Rick Fight was a perfect person to bring up for the high guard and defense. And so, but it's. I'm telling you, I'm going back through. But we've had a phenomenal show. It's been great. But I think we're about to wrap it up, and I think we're gonna get out of here. I don't want to leave. But if nobody else has anything they want to say, I think we're going to wrap it up and send it home. So unless somebody else has something, almost forgot. Albert Real, you came on early, way early in the show. As we were talking through, I missed your check. We had so many people talking through. MS, also, how you doing? Appreciate you coming in on the show. Thanks so much for tuning in and joining in on our segment for today. And everybody else that came in and joined in, I do appreciate it absolutely. I think I almost missed. Shoot, there was one other brother. I think I missed somebody else. Real deal. I just say hi to Real Deal. Hey, Real Deal. What's going on with it? I appreciate you joining me on the show. So glad that you're with us. I am so sorry. I'm not trying to miss anybody. We had so many people chatting. It just went through the ringer. But as much as I can, I'm trying to say hi to everybody. I know as we grow, I know down the line, I'm not going to be able to, it's going to come a point where I won't be able to give props to everybody that tuned in. I think there's something I can do to give like an end credit scene of everybody that chatted on, so I can in one big conglomerate give you all your props. But as much as I can, if I can give you individual praise, hey, I'm gonna say what's up to you. But I appreciate all of you all tuning in on the show. I appreciate all of you all coming in and spending time with us on this afternoon. But I think we're gonna wrap it up and send this home on this Friday afternoon. So with all of that being said, this has been another episode of The Watchable with me, your host, Jean-Luc Welch. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to this Friday edition of The Watch Report, where it has been championship rounds. You all drove the conversation, and you all did not disappoint with the fervor and fire and love that you gave to this show. We're going to be back on Tuesday, talking about the world of boxing, still, and beyond. And I'm not going to be able to cover fights this weekend if there are any. I don't think there are. Outside of Duarte, but I ain't gonna be able to cover it. We're gonna be back on Tuesday, covering the world of sports, boxing, and beyond. Leave a like on the stream before you leave. Comment your thoughts and opinions on what you liked or didn't like about the show. Keep on subscribing to the channel. If you haven't already, come join the Empire. Hit the notification bell and share the show with everybody you know, so we can keep on building up this empire together. All thanks to you and your support. If you can't give to the channel, Cash App and PayPal, links in the description. If you can give, it would mean the world to me and help us keep the lights on. It's my job, and so it will help us to also be able to have the ability to make this show bigger and better for you all to enjoy. Keep on telling people about the show. Keep on sharing the show with everybody. We're going to be available on podcasts at the end of the day for people to listen after this show gets done. So you can listen to it in your car, on your job, wherever. Apple, Spotify, you name it, we're there. Rate us 5 stars over on those platforms. And I've been Jean-Luc Welch. Y'all have been wonderful. Peace and love. We are out of here. Yes, sir. Excuse me. We are out of here. Yes, sir. There we go. Got to get the time right. Yes, sir. We're going to see you all on Tuesday. That's it. On Tuesday. Peace and love. We out.